Greetings, y'all. Welcome back. This is the second episode in our discussion, the Yeah, I've Played episode covering Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
I was about to interrupt.
In the previous episode, we covered chapters 1 and 2, and we are now on chapter 3. When we last left the team, I believe they had just crossed the drawbridge,
Yes.
pulled it up, and now we are in the fucking castle.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched the first episode, well, just go back. It doesn't make sense to watch this one
Yeah,
without
you're
it.
not too far into this one to just go back to the
Unless
other
you
one.
hate the first part of the game and you just want
Man, everything before the castle sucks.
the village bullshit.
So you go into the castle and you meet Salazar, who is the
He's a character.
funny guy.
Were you aware of this character before?
I had no idea that he was going to be in
Was
this
it,
game.
so it reminds me of like the kids from Akira or something.
Yes.
It was a very bizarre thing to see the first time I fired this game up.
Yeah, so clearly he's a high-ranking member in this Plagas hierarchy that we have going here. But he has the
Los Illuminados.
The Los Illuminados.
That's what a mouthful, am I right,
a
guys?
very big mouthful. But he has the appearance. He is short in stature, and I'm not. But he says that he's 20 years old, so I'm not sure. A lot of exactly 20-year-old characters.
I think that he's because he's part of the royal family of the area. You know what I mean? He's the last surviving member of the royal family. I think it's just decades of incest. Generations of inbreeding has resulted in this monster you see before you.
He says it's because he has the Plagas in him. It mutated him.
Oh, okay.
He pretty much comes out and says it.
Yeah.
I thought that was
wasn't
more
listening.
about his ghostly color and spooky veins, but about his stature.
It made him
and
little,
everything.
and it gave
He's
him
short.
It gave him elf ears. He's a little more than short.
I think he's a
Matt.
little more than short. I feel like he may be a little person, or
What's
have
the most
sev-
offensive way you can refer to this?
I think that's the most. I think that's the preferred term,
This is the preferred nomenclature.
preferred nomenclature.
I'm pretty sure he calls you Mr. Scott in this one scene.
Or Mr. Scott.
He's a big fan of The Office.
I made in my notes. I go, did he just call me Mr. Scott?
I remember him saying something about Scott. Yeah,
because he's it is Leon Scott Kennedy.
Is it?
yeah,
I think that's what the S stands for.
I think so.
Oh,
What'd you think the S stands for?
I forgot the S was
Shit
there.
heel?
Leon Shitlord Kennedy.
Not inaccurate. So yeah, he's a small guy. My assumption is that he
He looks like a little goblin.
does.
He's
got, like,
very goblin-esque.
Gray skin and
But I
pointy
feel
ears.
like previous to his infection, he had some sort of biological thing that stunted him at that stature, and then he took on the evil blue skin of having.
I think
Las
he's
Plagas.
using it as an excuse. Because he's like, oh, Leon doesn't know I've always looked like this. I'll tell him I was mutated.
Yeah.
I was so handsome, and I was 6 feet tall before this, and
My dick
I had
was
big
fucking
muscles.
huge.
I had big muscles and a huge dick.
Big honking cock.
This
So
is
maybe,
like,
I don't know.
this is where the game, for me, when I was first playing it, especially, I was like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
like
What a
the
character.
fuck is this? Like Mendez is like pretty generic as far as villains
looks
go.
like
But as
a-
far as Resident Evil goes,
He looks
he's
like the
pretty,
Undertaker. Like
yeah,
with a beard, with a big beard,
It's a
bald head.
yeah, it's an archetype we've seen a million
he
times.
looks like Nemesis. He looks like
there's not
Mr.
a ton of like
Mr. Sex.
recognizable villains that look like Salazar.
Mr. Sex.
No,
is very
you really
funny.
don't see any like except for the main antagonist in the film Leprechaun.
He's
I
got
think
that
his name
going
is
on.
the Leprechaun.
The Leprechaun, yes, the Leprechaun.
And the Akira connection was like
The S Leprechaun.
even more clear to me in when you
Los
actually see his
Leprechaun.
final form in the boss fight.
Yes.
He looks just like one of the Akira kids at that
Oh, yeah.
point. And I'm wondering if that is like a slight influence on this.
Oh, it could be.
You got. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
great thing.
such a huge piece of media. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially like for in Japan. So it's
Yeah.
like, why wouldn't there be
I didn't-
some sort of little callback to it?
That didn't
in
jump
this
out.
body horror, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, kind of thing.
That didn't jump out to me, but I have just seen tons of stuff with people transforming and shit. I'm kind of like immune to it now.
As soon as you
I
mentioned
probably
it's literally
right.
just the haircut, the face,
Yeah.
the little kid body.
you mentioned the babies, and that's like I was
Yeah.
like I hadn't made the connection myself, but I was
Yeah.
like, holy yeah.
I don't know what
And
those
then
Akira kids are really.
in his boss form, he does have that very Japanese, like Final Fantasy fight style. Like he is like a torso up in this giant sort of monster, or like it's a lot of
like a
times
mech or something almost.
Yeah, like the final.
It's like
the
a Gundam.
Anybody that's familiar, the final boss of Kingdom Hearts is like, yeah, just like the torso of the guy, whatever, I don't remember his name. And
Keep
he's
trying to get us
a
into
battleship.
Kingdom Hearts. It's not going
It's
to work.
it's a
I'm
it's
not
a lot
going to
of
build my gummy ship. I don't care.
I
have
couldn't
to.
believe how much I hated doing that.
it's
I watched this motherfucker play a lot of Kingdom Hearts along with their other friends. You and Francis played the shit out of Kingdom
because
Hearts.
I really wanted to try
Yes,
it. Yeah, he let me
and,
borrow it. He was very kind. He let me borrow it.
I didn't even like watching you guys play it.
I tried because so many people have said it's great, but I think those people are
It's nostalgia
are
blindness.
fools.
Yeah,
I think they're Disney adults.
I think they are Disney adults,
Uh-huh.
and you know,
the
well,
gummy
I don't
ship.
make the laws.
The gummy, the gummy ship building becomes a lot more robust as the franchise goes on.
That's such a silly phrase.
It is very silly, but at the
You're
same time,
defending it, but don't
I'm not-
you
hold-
kind of
let
hate
me-
these games?
Yes. The end of the sentence that you guys interrupted twice was it gets more robust, but even less necessary because they know people hate doing it. I played most of the way through Kingdom Hearts 3 while maintaining the default ship, and it did not affect anything. You could still just dodge the shit.
Well, one of my favorite parts of the game, Resident
when you-
Evil 4,
Resident Evil
Oh,
4.
I thought you were talking about
is when
Kingdom Hearts go into Resident Evil.
Salazar and Mr. Kennedy.
Scott.
Mr. Kennedy.
We've heard about your daughter.
I can't remember Salazar's. I can't like mimic it.
Ooh, he talks
Yeah.
like this.
Kind of, but
It's like a
But
very-
not.
I can't remember exactly what Salazar says, but Leon replies, "No thanks, bro."
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
It says something like, "Ooh, you will
My
join
notes-
our fold."
Our notes were like, holy shit, shut up. So cheesy.
So,
I don't
Thanks,
even
bro.
dislike Salazar. He was just fun. Like I liked it when he was on screen. I was like, this
He
guy.
was a nice
Yeah.
little. He was really
I
like
think he's
the.
great.
one of the better characters, even though he is very one note.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, but I mean, like obviously, a lot of like the dialogue and stuff in Resident Evil is its own like comedic break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it almost seems self-aware it's so bad. Like, how could they
Yeah.
not know that this is not this is
Yeah.
bad dialogue? But like Salazar is like the first like character aside from like Luis a tiny bit, who's like just kind of like, oh, look at
Absolutely.
that goofy weird thing.
He's
that they're just
fucking-
like, I'm king, baby.
he's Cell
And
from Dragon Balls. Or no, sorry, he's
I was like, I don't think he's Cell from Dragon Ball.
fucking the other one. Frieza. He's Frieza. pretty
Okay,
much. He's,
yeah, I guess.
I'm crazy. You know, he's just that guy, and it's fun. It's a good time.
So there's a section here right at the beginning where you're getting blasted with fire catapults. Like
fuck. This part
they're
kicked
just
my
like
ass.
throwing flaming boulders out of giant catapults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments in this game that has boulders coming at our boy.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of Indiana Jones moments too
Well,
that we skipped over.
You know, famously, the Resident Evil series gets its revenge against the boulders in
In
part
the next
5.
installment, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched that happen. Somebody was playing it. Maybe you were there for the first time, and I could not believe what I saw.
Yes.
You kick the boulders?
You punch
You
a boulder.
punch the boulder.
Oh,
You
fuck,
you
yeah,
break
dude.
a boulder with a punch.
And the
I
boulder-
think it is the final boss fight.
But it is. And
Not
the boulders,
not the boulder.
The boulders,
itself.
it's rolling at you, and you're like, I'm done being afraid. And turn around, fucking boom!
boom.
It's like Saitama breaking the
It's
fucking
not even
asteroid.
that cool.
It's like Aaron Yeager in. Spoiler, never mind.
So when you're doing this, basically what you're trying to get to is a cannon, which is on a platform, which needs to be cranked up,
Yeah,
so it can
Crank that soldier.
Then
blade.
you can break open a castle wall and get deeper into the castle.
Like
But
most
first-
classic medieval technology.
Right. You have a
crank
cannon.
pulleys and
Yeah.
spirals.
To
Aim
point directly at your
directly
own
at the door.
castle door.
Makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I found the cannon that's in every castle.
So, I mean, this part is where you also first see the cultists,
Yes.
What are you at SPB?
who-
What are you at SPB?
are a nice switch. I mean, there's 3 main enemy types in this game in terms of like the human-esque characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
You kind of have like the regular villagers, the cultists, and then like the militarized.
Badass
Yeah, you have like
guys.
the Contra people
Yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah.
So
Christ.
these guys, when I first encountered them, thought were very scary.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
They
As
got
like
that chant
a-
going on.
And as like a preteen playing this for the first time ever, this was like the first part of the game where I was like, I had to like stop for a few days. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I had to like put it down. It's
I guess I can't
it's
imagine
when-
this game actually being scary to a younger.
it is
kid.
like a big
Sound
difficulty.
design especially.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, and it's so especially on like the Wiimote where like it's just like right in your face. You know what I mean? Someone screaming at you. But it was also like the first moment where like the
you
regular
put the Wiimote up to your head and it's feedback blast you. And then Ingram talks. Oh,
but the regular enemies you're fighting are like becoming more difficult. You know what I mean? In the sense
Yeah.
that they take a little bit more ammo to kill. They're a little bit more persistent.
the cultists can take a pounding.
Yeah, and more often than not, they do burst into the
Oh my
Plagas.
God,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is great.
God, they nailed
so
that.
this
That's-
absolutely like this made me take a break.
Yeah.
when I was 12 years old.
This was the second time in this game where I was just like, fuck, like how I didn't know if I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make it through this boulder thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was kicking my ass. Also, you have Ashley with you at that
Yes.
time,
Yeah.
and this is a great example of if you leave her too far back, as you were talking about earlier.
it's the only time I
she'll get
lost
you.
her.
This is the
Yeah.
only time I lost her
Only
as well.
time
It was
she
the
got
first
picked up.
time I set her down, and we talked about this.
Yep.
I forgot that when you set her down, usually throughout almost the entire game, you can tell her to hide in a dumpster, tell her to fuck off, or you can just like set her down like around the corner,
Yeah.
and then go forward because enemies always spawn in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like one of the only times that enemies spawn behind you, and they'll
Yeah.
just grab her, and you'll be on the other side of the map already.
Dealing with flaming ass.
Because I initially left her in the cannon room was the first place I left her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You will find that little tower, and I was like, oh, I'll leave her here at this perfect little enclosed area. Left, suddenly I just hear her screaming within like a minute of me leaving, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
We mentioned this off camera as well, but the animation of her when she gets taken away and that's the game over animation is so,
So good.
They just like, she's just like on their shoulder,
Yeah.
and then just like walk through heaven's door.
Into this red door portal directly to hell. The background's just black. But that's also a very clever way to like, well, are we going to animate every single room that she could be taken out of? Fuck it. No, just red door.
Yeah, I mean the symbolism or whatever, is just
She's going
it
to a
totally
bad
works.
Yeah.
place.
You know that she's done.
Yeah. So you make it through. It took me a while. I probably died here more than any other part in the game.
Yeah, I got blasted on the bridge a couple times trying to head over to the cannon to crank up the cannon.
Yeah.
because
Yes,
that's the first
you always
moment
forget,
where.
I always forgot about that last one.
And that's the first moment where it seems as though like that catapult actively tracks you.
Yes. Mhm.
The rest kind of just have set. They're on like a timer where they're just like, if you're in the area, they're like, we're just gonna keep firing.
If we keep going, we'll get him.
Like he's over there, and you're like, fire, get him.
So most of these guys are bald and kind of look like
Tomar.
a negated version of Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Like
It's very Star Warsy.
except some of them have at this point, I don't think you've seen all the different types yet, but the first type that
No.
you see is the ones who have like a golden just like skull helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, and there are the guys with the flails
Yeah,
and shit,
flails.
the fucking
Shields.
huge shields, which I had a lot of fun just getting my rifle out, and when those guys, especially the shield guys, are huddled and usually like defending like the coming group of enemies.
Yeah,
toward
there's
you.
like usually a few regular unshielded guys behind him.
Could
Yeah.
sometimes take out 3 of them in one shot.
Yeah, well, especially once
Had a
you
lot
get
of
like
cool
the
moments.
semi-auto rifle, and
Yeah.
you just like right through the shield,
Yeah.
straight through their head, and
It's like I did get a really good feel. I would never say I'm good at any video game, but I did start getting a really good feel of like knowing where their head was and shit, and like they're perfect. Like, and I just boom.
So it's a very memorable part, the fire catapults. Like every part's memorable, but after that you go inside and you see a door and you're like, perhaps it's a prison door. And
Oh yeah.
you go around the corner and there's a key just like stuck to a painting, which kind of an odd thing. And it was on this playthrough that I started checking all the paintings.
Yeah.
oh, you hadn't done that before?
I don't think I'd ever done that.
I think it's
pro
I think
move.
it's primarily the Sadler paintings.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
Every
because other
portrait
ones
of
will-
Sadler seems to have treasure behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah. You knock
other
it down. There's a big old box.
not all
behind
of them either, and there's a couple that aren't Sadler if I remember right. Like there's one room where it's like a family portrait of some sort in the castle, and it's fucking a huge painting. And I walked up and it was like examine. And I was like, okay, and it went.
it. Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I looked at all the ones that I thought to look at, but I only remember it being with the Sadler paintings.
It was one of the only things that I was like obsessive about, where I was like, I'm checking every fucking painting.
I found out way too late that was a thing. And it makes me wonder, like, is there other stuff in the game that I didn't think about, like checking?
That's fair, yeah.
Because I don't think that those would show up on your treasure map.
No,
They don't. No,
absolutely
well, because
not.
they're never treasures. They're usually just like,
It's just money.
yeah, it's usually money, maybe a spinel.
Yeah.
Spinel.
Spinelli.
So
I don't know.
You guys want to get some Spinellis, bro?
once you get the
I don't know what
prison
that head
key,
moves.
you go down to the prison, and your path is being blocked upstairs. So the prison's downstairs. Upstairs, your path is being blocked by two chest piece looking horse statues that are breathing fire at one another.
Oh yeah.
It's such a fucking cool image.
I thought that it was steam. I thought it was hot steam.
I think it was fire. I could be wrong.
Check the footage and then give me a tally or give you guys a tally.
Okay.
Check the footy.
I think it was like hot steam.
I don't know.
I don't remember seeing fire yet.
It wasn't like a cold steam.
Could have been a cold steam.
Yeah,
steam
there's
creamery?
no fucking way to know.
It's hard to tell. It wasn't actually there. I
You
couldn't
didn't
feel
have
it.
the thermal scope on your rifle
No,
yet.
not yet.
Yeah,
not
so
yet.
I couldn't see.
So
They're gonna say the thermal gloves that attach to your controller.
when you go downstairs
sick.
to the prison, there's a switch, like a lever, that will turn that steam or fire. It will turn the horse statues off.
Turns the statues
But
off. Yeah.
it's inside of a prison cell, and in the prison cell is one of the scarier enemies in the game.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what they're called. I didn't look it up.
It translates to the clawers.
It's Wolverines.
Which is kind of rough.
And this is another enemy
I don't
which
remember what the
is
Spanish term was, though.
directly ripped off in The Evil Within.
Oh, yeah.
Like they just straight up took this guy.
Yeah.
The same thing, like he's in a little cell and everything. Like it's
He's
the
blind.
same encounter.
and he's freaking out.
Yeah, so basically his eyes are sewn shut.
Yeah.
And it's pretty detailed.
And he's a beefy boy, too.
Yeah.
Huge.
Big
One of the
dog.
biggest enemies.
And you gotta
Martine
kind of
Ford.
just like
know what it is.
distract him. You can use a bell. You can ding the bell, and he'll claw at it and get stuck in the wall. It's the classic big enemy runs into a wall, slows down for a moment. You shoot it in the back in the weak spot. It's been done a million times, but it works
Yeah,
really well. And
it
this is
does.
like, again, when I first played this game, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is insane. And now it's like, now I fucking got him.
Especially
Yeah,
those first couple interactions too that you have with them. As like it goes on, they start like there's a couple times they throw two at you.
Yeah.
Or it's like
man.
they put you
Yeah.
in an even more enclosed space with one of them,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
you can barely avoid.
There's one
the-
later I want to talk about.
Yeah.
in
Yes,
particular, but-
I know exactly what you're
It's
talking
but
about.
this is like, because even the chainsaw guys this playthrough didn't really give me any like grief. You know what I mean at all. I pretty much would just blast them a few times and then they'd be dead. These are the only ones that
Anyway,
really
I
like.
started blasting.
So anyways, but these are the first like regular enemies that started giving me real trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like regular strong enemies.
You can't
where I
just,
was like,
like,
fuck, okay, I have
cap
to
'em.
actually like think about this and I have to run away. You know what I mean? Lead him over here while paying attention to like the cultists that are also advancing on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 1st one you do fight alone, but when there are other enemies around, because they're triggered by sound.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're firing at the other enemies. and
So
they're like, there
He's
you
like,
are.
oh, there he is.
he hears you. He can hear you running, but he can't hear you walking. But if you're dealing with other enemies, then you kick them or use like even if you use one pistol shot to knock him down, he's gonna see you.
I'm curious if the silencer would alert him because I never used the
Wow,
silencer.
I never
I never
used
used
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, at that point, the handgun's basically obsolete. You know what I mean? You have the fucking
Yeah.
yeah, red steel.
So going forward, you get out of there, you beat the guy, you go upstairs, you get past the horses, and then there's a room where there's all these like crank puzzles. Like you got to like turn these cranks, or you have to send Ashley up to turn the cranks, and it's you have to push her up, sort of up a ledge.
Oh, don't
and-
look, Leon.
and like defend her while you're on two different platforms. like different levels.
Oh, in the giant room with the water.
Yeah, and this is like
Yeah,
the
that was
first
sick.
one of the first areas where the castle has these big open sort of arena type areas, which are a lot different than the village and all the areas leading up to the castle, where you don't really have an arena. The closest thing is
No.
like the cabin siege, which isn't really that's not really the same thing.
Not at all.
You're usually just fighting enemies along a path. It's a lot more constricted and you know.
Linear almost.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and it's much
not-
more. It's more enclosed. There's
Yeah.
like that.
It's like Doom. It's like a corridor
Yeah.
shooter kind of thing.
And it's like
Or
simultaneous.
Wolfenstein, I
They're
should
like
say.
two such different styles of stress because there's the one where you're like, who knows what's going to be behind this building or down this little alleyway, and then there's the I can literally see everyone coming at me and I'm overwhelmed. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
like that too.
and you usually see like all the entrances they could be coming in from. You know, because if they're not in the room already, they're going to come through a door. You
Yeah.
can always kind of spot where they might be.
Yeah.
But
It
this
is funny
one
to
of
watch
the
the
first ones
cultists
where
like jog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The cultists in
They
their
look like
full
silly-
robes,
I do love
like
that.
Silly
yeah.
goose.
they're almost laid out. It's like almost like a chess pieces. Like it's just like there's very strategic placement of all the enemies, and they're always going to be every time you play. They're in the same spots. They always spawn in the same spots.
Yep.
There's no randomization, and it's the kind of thing where if you're tight with your firing and everything, you can take out a lot of them like pretty easily with like 1 or 2 hits, or like
Yeah.
there's a lot of areas where a grenade will take out everybody
Yeah.
at once.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely,
They're
yeah.
often lined up in such a way and always coming at you. There's a lot of symmetrical sort of battles. Like in this room in particular, when you get rid of the first wave,
Mm-hmm.
there's 2 groups, like 3 of like the shield guys and everybody.
Yep, and they
come
kind of
down
follow the
sides.
same track
Yeah.
to meet in like that little center. Yeah.
And I mean, you can kind of like move around, and if you get panicked, they're gonna flank you.
Yes.
Because you're gonna be moving around, and they're gonna be doing their thing. But a lot of the times, when you enter a room, if you just kind of stand your ground, like you can
Just
like
blast
very
them.
skillfully
Yeah.
blast
Uh-huh.
them away. But
That
it's
was
the kind
always
of thing you
very
wouldn't get
fun.
on your first playthrough necessarily.
Yeah.
No,
You think you
well,
gotta
because
run
there's like
around.
that. You have that little bit of panic where you're like, I have to get in here and strategize. Whereas like, and even in some rooms, it's like if I don't really move too much right away, a few of these guys aren't going to notice me.
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
can like pop them before I even like get into this. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, and I did think that was maybe a draw distance issue or something, but like looking back at like older footage of the game, like on GameCube and stuff, it just worked that way.
Yeah.
I thought it was the kind of thing where like maybe you were seeing enemies you shouldn't be able to see.
Oh, because the quality was so high.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
But that wasn't
No,
really the
like
case.
I remembered that it's because it seems like you do kind of have to alert them. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
the fact that you're there.
A lot of places, yeah, and then they yell like he's here, and then the scary music starts.
The castle, though, this level specifically is when it really started to. It feels like the second half almost like a separate game.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit. You know what I mean? As obviously gameplay mechanics are everything's the same, but like
Crazy how different.
the set pieces are
world
so
is.
different. Yeah, and it's just so much more of like a grand scale suddenly.
And it builds on the skills that you develop at that point, but it really turns it on its head.
Oh,
'Cause
absolutely.
It's like, yeah, you're used to that setup that you were talking about with those combat, not quite arenas, but those combat settings, and now it's like, fucking try this shit.
There's
now.
always plenty of places to hide too when you were still in the village. You know what I mean? You always had somewhere you could go and like regroup for half a second, you know, or you could
Yeah.
run far enough
Out
away.
here.
But in
Break
the
the line
castle,
of sight so they can't
and
be
so many of the
throwing stuff at
crossbow
you.
guys, you know what I mean? In the castle, it's just like
Yeah.
you're like, I kind of have to just kill everybody, then I can relax.
Yeah. And
With this, sorry.
with the excuse me. With the HD mod, I wasn't really sure. Sometimes like art on the walls can, like specifically if it is paintings, I've seen this in games with the remasters. Sometimes they don't like have access to those files or whatever, and they don't do it, but they did. They
Yeah.
did in this game. And they looked pretty fucking cool.
The only thing
I
that they
think they're
didn't,
mostly real paintings.
yeah,
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm pretty sure that they didn't get with the HD mod is like the cutscenes from separate ways.
That's exactly
That's
yes.
because those the cutscenes in the game, in the main game, are in engine cutscenes,
And those are all rendered.
and yeah, so
Oh.
the ones that are there are just like those are the video files that are on the disc.
Right.
That's all
Higher
you can
quality
do.
versions don't exist, and
Yeah,
you
we
could do an
can't do
AI
anything.
upscaling, but you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I hate it. So yeah, I'd just like to take a second to talk about the. I mean, every setting is so cool and very like feels very fleshed out. But this one in particular, it gives you a really specific like feeling. It's clear that there's like some religious, probably kind of Christian. I don't really know, but it's like it was really cool, very thematic, and it reminded me a lot of Control. Honestly, you know what I mean.
This room did specifically with like the big like granite blocks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
It's not quite brutalism, but it kind of is. And another thing that's just kind of clicking with me is that like this is probably one of the first. Well, Resident Evil is one of the first games where you did kind of go check out, you know, everything and like examine things, and maybe because Leon's little quips aren't super rewarding, maybe that's what led to developing things like finding memos and finding pages, you know, manuscript pages where they give a little bit more of the story. So that maybe, you know, that was maybe a seed that was planted that games afterwards developed on. Because sometimes Leon just says, that's weird, instead of like actually giving you something unique about the
Yeah,
world.
he doesn't give you a lot of exposition.
Yeah.
No, you don't really know how Leon feels about this other than like kind of put out by it. You
He's
know what I
very,
mean?
like,
Like
yeah.
he's just kind of annoyed. He's like, I was just supposed to come here, pick this bitch up, and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I got to do all
his
this.
tone is also very inconsistent throughout the game as well. Like, he goes from being overly concerned to not concerned at all to sometimes annoyed, sometimes horny, sometimes aggravated,
cool as
sometimes
fuck.
scared,
Yeah.
and then other times just like, like nothing's gonna stop me, and then
like they're just, like,
It's like that's
spun
like
the
a day in the
wheel.
life of like what's going on in my head. You know?
so this room,
Roller coaster.
eventually you go all the way through the room. You go down to an area where there's a little weight puzzle where you have
Yes.
to like tell Ashley stand on this,
Smashly, go stand on this bitch.
stand on this this
call her
stone,
Smashley?
and I'll stand on the other one, and the weight of you
Your-
distributed
your fat ass
on the
will-
things will
Big,
solve the puzzle.
heavy,
So-
long tits.
But this is one of the times where there's like a hole in the ceiling in this little room. Do you remember this?
You go
And-
up there and there's a Max Payne reference.
So there's a hole in the ceiling, and you think that you're good. So all these guys are sieging into the room. You're like kind of hold up there, and if you don't keep an eye on your back, guys will drop out of the ceiling and attack you.
Oh hell yeah. I guess I didn't notice that that's where they were coming from.
Are you talking about the room with the statue that you can push, that weight room?
No, this is the very first one where there's just like it's at the far end of the room we were talking about with the cranks and the battle and everything.
Yeah.
It's where you have to like go all the way down, and then you go downstairs, and there's a little room in the back there, down the little stairs.
Okay.
And there's just the two weights. Each stand on it, and it unlocks something. I don't remember what.
Because I think
Okay.
the issue with the statue one is that there's like 4 weights in that room.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
only
So
two
this is-
statues, 4 weights, and so it's like you gotta
I
think
don't
about it.
I don't remember that hole, but this is where you also turn around when you leave. That's when there's more guys, and then they have like fucking. That's when they have the crossbows and shit on you.
Yeah, and
right?
they're coming
Like,
at
second
you.
time around. Okay. I know what
And
you're talking about.
this was great too, just to like, you have sort of a long distance thing, and then you're immediately confronted with like the same area, but with like super close combat.
Yeah.
So
Very
I
cool
thought
way
that
to-
was cool.
If they're gonna reuse the same location, like they're really maximizing it
Min-max.
without they're min-maxing without like. Now there's guys over there. It's like they thought about it.
So
You got to fight the guys again, though.
nearby, after you finish this area, you'll find the first shooting range.
Yes.
So the shooting range is a lot of fun. It's a little arcade-style shooting range, and as you progress through and you rank up your points, you can cash them in for little bottle caps, like the little bottle cap statues. I don't think we have these in America
Not
as
really,
much,
no.
but they're
They're
definitely
not
a
as
thing
popular.
in Japan.
Well, they were
It is
like
a big deal.
They were there's a little game I used to play called Hero Clicks.
Yeah.
Hero
It was a little
Clicks.
bit like D&D.
Oh my
you know
God,
what
is
I
that an
mean?
offshoot? Is that where it came from?
What?
Like the idea for that because of the start, like.
No, I think Hero Clicks are an offshoot of the bottle cap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
what
yeah,
I mean.
they're absolutely an offshoot
Oh,
of
that's
like the little
fucking cool.
Because that's how it all works. Is that's like the little dial on the bottom. You know what I mean? And they sit into it, and it's
Wow.
fucking
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, in Japan they have those beverages that you can buy that are like some sort of sponsored, or licensed thing where it has like,
Yeah.
a little character on top that you
There's
Mm-hmm.
some really cool ones I've seen.
shouldn't take until you buy it.
But these are very nicely rendered, like little toy bottle, and they are literally the soda bottle caps. And then
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
and they
also
have
have like
a-
a little speaker in them, and so they'll say their line when you press it.
Yeah, that's
Did
pretty
you
cool.
guys finish the bottle cap collection?
Yes. I had all 4 tiers, I believe, or 3 tiers.
There's 24 altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Didn't care for the shooting range, guys.
No?
I'm sorry
Really?
to say. I did the first one, and I collected 5 out of the 6 that are available. I said, this is cool, but I'm way more into the gameplay.
It was a nice little reprieve, I thought.
Yeah, I
and
never
I liked
felt
the.
like not engaged enough to want to break from the fucking hand on the stove of the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's not. I kind of looked at it as like a.
That's a really. I was implying that the game's very intense. I never felt like, and it was very intense and dynamic. I never felt like I needed.
Much
a
like
big
putting your
break.
hand on a stove.
It's intense.
Intense and dynamic.
Oh, it burns.
Also, I'm hard.
And I'm hard. I'm feeling a lot of things, but it feels cold, but it's
But-
actually hot.
Okay.
I'll put my boner
But
on
you
the stove.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really loved the shooting range. I thought
love
it was
it.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I never.
Very well
I
done.
could never do very well with the rifle.
No.
But you don't need to. You
I can only do the pistol really.
Bruh,
yeah, the
you guys
pistol,
gotta
the
get
TMP, and the shotgun were the only three I could do. And
What?
the shotgun was the hardest.
When I did do it, I did with a pistol and the rifle, and I was fucking killing it.
The rifle, just
Doming 'em.
the zoom in. You also had your sensitivity up, correct?
Turned it up a little bit. It
Yeah.
does.
Cheater!
I guess, yeah, maybe that is a
In
little
that
bit.
scenario.
No, I'm sorry. The PC port did not have a controller sensitivity setting, but apparently, if I remember correctly, the console versions did, because they were obviously controller only. So they had controller sensitivity adjusters, whereas in the PC version,
I'd be surprised.
does
That's
not.
That's not a thing that was
it says
common.
that. It says that as the little tooltip in the HD mod thing.
That was not very common back then.
It was really fun though. It's fun
Sensitivity
to
controls?
accidentally blast Ashley with your shotgun in there.
Oh,
you know what I mean? in the shooting range.
Bitch!
The shotgun was like
okay.
the,
I thought
yeah.
you meant like real Ashley.
No,
That's
You mean the
not
cardboard
fun.
cutout?
The
of
cardboard
Ashley.
cutout of
I
Ashley,
think
yeah.
they're probably wood. They have a woody sound when they pop up.
It was definitely fun, but yeah, I skipped all the rest
You
of
got to
it.
get Salazar's little head floating by in the background that blows
is there a
up. and then-
Salazar?
that was Salazar's
That
head.
is?
It's Salazar's head. Yeah, it says it in It's one
I
of those
never
things where
looked
it's
at it
like,
up close.
it's if you look at it with the rifle, you can see that it's Salazar.
Weird.
But it also just says it in one of the little things on like you know what I mean, where it's
It
like
says the characters will come out.
yeah, and it's like don't forget to miss Salazar's head as it you know what I mean comes by, and I was like that's what that little fucking thing is.
So right after this area, Ashley coughs up some blood and runs away.
Dumb bitch.
And then she,
So I do every time I cough up blood. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
I believe this is when she runs away and she gets herself strapped to a wall.
Yeah,
This is like
this was a silly one.
it was. It was. I saw her running at the wall, and you can see like the 4 slots from where clearly something's gonna
going
come
on.
I
out
thought
of
it was
there.
like arrows or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she like runs, and you're like, Ashley, look out! And then
Like,
she like
spikes
stops.
come out of the floor.
She stops like right in between the two things, and she's like, oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And then they fucking close and wrap her, and I'm like, that was a really like.
Specific.
You were really banking on a lot of things going the way you thought they would to set up that trap.
I do
yeah.
think-
Like-
So, if she hadn't have sprinted, there was the traps of the spikes coming up, and I'm sure the plan was either to time those in such a way that they would continue running after the first one, but even still to be perfectly flush with the wall.
the spikes
and
are a
have
big
them-
risk too because you don't want to kill Ashley.
Yeah, the spikes are there, and then also
Yeah.
like the bars. You know, where's her head? Like it's gonna squish it. You know,
Yeah. What if she's
well, it
in the
all
fetal
worked out for
position?
the
very
best.
very precise trap. This one.
she gets like barred to a wall, and then the entire wall just fucking rotates.
Rotates
You're
around.
like, where'd Ashley go?
Yeah.
And
And
then
then it's like, oh no.
it's pretty much fine. Then you get a phone call on your amazing device. This is now the start of chapter 3-2.
And you can't talk to Hunnigan anymore.
Well, that's what I was
No.
going to say. The reason
Oh.
you can't talk to Hunnigan is because Salazar jacked the line.
This is when he lets you know.
Everyone
he
can
lets you
talk.
know that he jacked the line.
We've jacked the line.
Everyone can talk to you except for Ingram. Again.
So
Ingrid.
next up, yes,
Sorry, everybody.
I was going to let it go.
Okay, I don't care.
Next up is the sewer level, basically.
Woo, this shit was cool.
Where the invisible,
Oop.
there's invisible bugs. The bugs make a very gnarly sound when they die.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was also to draw another Evil Within comparison. When you drop down into the sewers, it had a little bit of like the Evil Within vibe. It's not on the same level of when you drop into like the vat of blood.
Brutal. The
You know
beginning
when
of
you
that
like
game.
slide
But there's
down.
like the area after that that's a little more sewery too.
Yeah, but when you first enter, like when you come down like the ladder or whatever, and you're in like a weird cavern that's just effectively like filled with the corpses of cultists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the merchant.
Oh, that's later.
Oh, that's later.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was when you entered the sewer.
No, this is that's later.
Okay, I'm mixing stuff up.
That Salazar basically kicks you down a pit.
Yes. Okay. I was
That's
mixing
like
those up.
it's the Mortal Kombat death pit with like all the spikes and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, no, this is just
right.
more like a cobblestone sewer system,
Okay.
traditional sewer full of shit and piss.
Getting ahead of myself.
But it does. There's a like. It's pretty quiet until you have your first. Interaction with the spooky, scary bugs.
Yeah, and so you can kind of see
spooky,
them
scary
like
bugs
in
are
a
coming
predator kind of way, you know, where there's like a glimmer.
That's right. Yeah, and you see through their eyes.
You can't no.
Wasn't that in the game? Am I crazy? Was there a sequence where like
That is much later in the game.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is more like
you're?
it
super
has
right.
an
I'm so
invisibility
wrong.
cloak, and you kind of see like a shimmer of it moving.
Yeah.
but you can't really see it. I know
That's
Predator
why.
Vision is like the more popular, reference I could have made there, but I meant more like how he looks when he's moving, when he's invisible.
Yeah. Like when I know exactly what you're talking about.
Matt was you were gonna start a new show called Predator Vision,
I was.
and then turns out it wasn't legal. Anyway, I used a shotgun. Matt was gonna be a vigilante pedophile.
I use the
annihilator.
shotgun as well for the most part, but I did sometimes just get these guys one hit in the head with the pistol.
Yeah, they're very manageable.
TMP, baby. These guys are really the easiest ones to take out with the TMP because they don't, like you said, if you get like one good shot in the head with the pistol, if you just like give them like the up, you know what I mean, bottom to top with the fucking TMP, they're just dead.
All right.
It's like 4 or 5 shots and they're
They
just
take
dead.
two. They were taking at the time wherever my damage was for my shotgun, like 2 or 3 shots. But like man, like you said, the sound of them dying, especially after the shotgun blast, is so satisfying.
It's a really nice squelch.
You just feel like fucking Doom guy. Like it's
Yeah.
incredible.
It's also the kind of thing where they fall down and they look like they're dying, and then they
They
get back
flip
up.
back
Don't,
up.
yeah.
and they're like, shit.
At least they can't fly. Dun, dun,
Oh yeah.
dun.
Also, this is when they're like flipping up and down from the ceiling to the floor. And
Yeah, that was spooky.
That would fuck me up sometimes, where I'd be like, "All right, I got him," and then he'd like just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking gravity shift.
And I'm
on
like,
me.
okay, cool, gotta wait for him to try to
pull-
attack me again.
He pulled a VVV on you.
After this, there's the room with the giant pendulum axe
Yeah.
swinging thing, which is such a cool visual.
So cheesy.
This place, that is, first of all, giant pendulum swinging axe, not the cheesiest thing we're going to encounter in this castle. And I
No.
think you know that. But
I have one thing in my notes that is really, 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 really funny to me.
yeah,
It's coming up soon.
okay, I'm excited.
I took a note saying like I can't believe there's a fucking swinging pendulum axe
Yeah.
scene like in a
It's the kind of shit I loved when I was like
Acme cartoon.
10 years old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I thought that was like the coolest.
Yeah, and I also thought that I would inevitably in my adulthood encounter at least a couple.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like, I'm gonna have to get the timing down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just have to pay attention. It doesn't seem that hard in practice. You know
Same
what I
with
mean? But
quicksand. You know,
It's a very
with-
old school thing too.
Yeah, you know,
Like, there's another section. I don't know if I put it in my notes or not. I
there's
don't think
that-
I did.
There's that one part where the dynamite blows up, and it fades in from black, and Leon's beak is on the back of his head.
Yeah.
and he has to spin it around, and he says, "Oh man."
There's that part. But there's another part
all
that's
covered
very
in
old
ass.
school
Solid Howard
that
the
reminds
Duck.
me of.
It's not Howard the Duck.
no. Oh, Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck.
There's like
Duck
basically
tits.
like thwomps coming down, just like
Yes.
you know, just like.
Yeah.
And it's like such an old school like video game thing to be like, all right, got to walk through the timed little
Yeah.
obstacle
Yeah.
thing. Like it's Contra, it's Super Mario World. It's just very funny to see that.
If
in there.
this had
Very
been a
like Crash
remedy,
Bandicoot.
yeah,
kind of.
If this had been Control, Jesse would have said something like, "Is this Mario? What the hell?" You know, like some sort of funny reference.
So the area after this, you exit and you're up above, and you look down. There's like a group of cultists like worshiping a big red bloody
hell
candle.
yeah.
Yeah.
In this kind of chapel area, yeah.
Yeah, and so you can fuck them up.
I
kill all of them.
Annihilated these guys. One grenade.
How? One grenade?
One
I
grenade.
threw a grenade down.
I threw a
from
grenade as
up
well, and they all drop treasure.
They
but this is
did.
where like the red, I think it's the Red Priest is what
Yes,
it's called. He like goes like, uh-oh, and he books it. So like you get almost everyone, but I think him and
You
two guys.
can kill him.
At this part?
At this part, you can kill the Red Priest.
Oh, really?
There's multiple Red Priests. He's not like the
I
Red
thought he was
Priest.
the one that had the key. Because if you don't kill him right
does
here,
have the
you
key.
spend like the next few areas like going after him.
Yeah, but he does have the key if
Oh,
you kill him right
I didn't
there.
realize that. I did chase him for a little bit.
That's
And
cool.
you still have to get through all the rooms. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you
'Cause
can't.
he-
You have to hop down, so you can't backtrack.
Yeah.
So you still have to advance through there, but you get the key from him.
He's the leader
right
of the
there.
bunch. You know him well, but so he's a little bit.
I was like, I hope.
He's
Not I was gonna be like, you know him well.
so he's a little bit like spaced out from them. So yeah, I killed all of the guys except for him, and he was and he booked it, and I had to go like,
Yeah, he like he goes and there's just like a wall that opens up and just closes.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I don't know how the fuck you activated that. You have a little fucking RFID chip in your.
he got close
In your
to
staff.
it. He used Apple Pay, and it took out $15 and it opened for him. 15 pesetas, excuse me. This fucking chapel is awesome. Like this scenery is some of the coolest shit I've ever seen. This is the part where it has the upside down statues hanging from the ceiling.
Oh shit!
That
yeah.
That's
is-
like the main hub. Yeah, in this area.
That fucking
That was very cool.
maybe this has existed, but I never thought of like that before. Like, let's hang a tremendous statue from the ceiling. I feel like it was born out of a glitch or something.
It
but then they kept it.
reminded me of the upside down castle in I think Symphony of the Night.
I don't think I played Symphony. I don't know what that is.
We should all play.
Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
It's
Great game.
We should all play it.
I played Castlevania.
It reminded me very much. It reminded me of like shit you would have seen in Max Payne or like Daredevil or like Punisher, like the movies from the early 2000s.
Or like that. What was that movie? The Legion. Like remember or Constantine.
Eric Cartman. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Eric Cartman.
That's
The
like
movie
what you're
Eric
talking
Cartman.
about.
Oh, the one with Keanu Reeves where he has like the cross handgun.
I didn't see that, but I really wanted to. I thought it looked super badass.
I just picked up a volume of the Constantine comic. I never read
Oh,
it
there you
before.
go.
And it's pretty
called-
fucking great.
It's
Yeah.
called Hellblazer.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard
Can I see it?
from what I heard
Yes.
the movie was very much a letdown
Oh, that
comparatively.
sucks.
This is
Well, just in the same way that the Max Payne movie was a letdown.
I didn't know that it was written by the same creative team that did
yeah,
the Preacher books.
Tim Dillon and Garth Brooks there.
Yes.
That
For real?
logo, no. Steve Dillon and Garth Enos,
Where the bodies, Garth?
like penis. So you got this from Ollie's. You might have to put this on the
Oh,
screen.
you got it from Ollie's?
Yeah.
Ollie's is dope, right?
I love Ollie's. If you guys don't have an Ollie's in your town,
Yeah.
it'll be coming soon. They're
Yeah.
taking over the world.
I still,
They're spreading like wildfire.
I like their old man mascot. I still haven't been there.
You can get a
This-
mattress for like $40. It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's crazy. I don't want to talk about it too much, but Jesus fucking Christ, the deals are insane.
Like Matt's a guy that doesn't go to like any retail stores.
No.
But I've heard you talk about going there at least
Because
3 times.
it's a
now.
bargain outlet. It's like all like damaged goods or excess
Just like,
shit.
they're
or
like this is from
clearance.
5 years ago that nobody bought it. And you're
Right.
like, well, I do need an Emerald Lagasse knife set for
let's go.
$19.
Because you missed it on the TV set.
Yeah, normally it's fucking 80.
All I want to
3
say,
payments.
all I want to say is that the logo for this Hellblazer is really close to my boy Hellboy.
Are they Dark Horse Comics?
It's Vertigo, DC.
Oh, okay.
Just saying that font, different
Even
colors.
Even the way
And they're-
he's sitting there
They're melted
looks
together.
a lot like Hellboy a little bit.
You
With
can
the
say that
cigarette in
here or
his
there,
mouth.
but the logo. Come on, guys, what are you doing?
Well, anyway,
I don't know
What are
which
you
one.
doing, guys?
You know what? I don't
Come
know. I don't know which
Come
one.
on, guys, what are you doing?
Shut up! I don't know which one came first. One of you's copying the other one.
I really
don't
like
know where this
what Andrew does when you interrupt a joke he's really trying to do.
I stay in it.
Like he has a joke that like it might not be funny at all, but he
staying
really
in it.
wants to finish it.
I'm almost positive Hellblazer predates Hellboy by like 10 years.
He'll get aggressive.
Mike
with you.
Mignola, what are you doing? I'm flipping it.
I'm almost positive. So this is the area too. So as you're following the Red Priest, you do the puzzle, the Sacrifice of Six puzzle, where you flip
That one
the
was weird.
paintings,
Oh,
all the
yeah,
dead
yeah.
bodies. So this is one of the first puzzles when I first played it, where I was like, huh, how do I? And even though I eventually got it, I didn't know how I got it.
I have no idea.
I just
kinda-
tried combinations, so I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
It
same
never
here.
But the
really worked.
mechanics of the puzzle was like flip which one. I didn't ever know which ones were getting flipped because
Yeah.
it flips two.
So there's-
It
there's
comes like
force-
the one
I
and the
remember-
one adjacent to the right. Or,
Yeah.
I remember doing this and just sitting there and I just kept fucking slamming it
Yeah.
and rotating them until eventually I was like, there it goes.
Yeah,
I
it
got
was-
like close enough where I was like, oh, now from here I can use my intuitive,
okay.
you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
but
There's
so
puzzles. There's puzzles every now and then that it's like I think I would. The chances of me figuring this out by blind just slamming it are pretty high. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna actually learn the mechanics because that doesn't seem like it seems to be faster.
I'm gonna face this one like a caveman.
Literally, yeah. I'm like I know if I slam the buttons, eventually it'll be right. And it'll tell me.
That's like the behind the church earlier in the game. There's the one little like sundial,
Yeah.
treasure thing. I nailed that as Leon. Like I intuitively understood it, was able to get it the first time around. You come back to it as Ada, and I like couldn't fucking figure it out.
Really?
For whatever reason, I had
You
a
were
total.
blazed.
I had a yeah.
You had to go back.
I had
it
a
was in
total
the
mental block
graveyard.
though, and yeah, I understand
You
how to
just
get to
forgot?
it. I just
Oh,
couldn't.
okay.
I couldn't solve the puzzle the second time for some reason.
Did you know that like the graveyard, like the tombstones are what?
Yeah,
tell
I
you what
knew
to
which
do?
ones to
Oh,
get to. I just couldn't,
But just
like-
the actual. You're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wasn't like, what are they trying to get me to do?
Okay.
It's just like I couldn't remember how to.
That one did like I don't know that it is.
I
Kind
nailed it the first time though, like
Yeah.
with like very little mental effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't really think about it.
one of
It
the
was kind of Skyrim-y in that like but it kind of wasn't at the same time because like the graveyard, yeah, there's the tombstones, but you don't really think about them. You know what I mean? You're like you see them, you're like, oh, tombstones,
gotta
I'm in the
interact with
graveyard.
them,
and then you see the signs. Oh, I saw those signs, and you go
Right.
back. But I still
the
kind
fact
of
there was a little bit of distance. It wasn't like in Skyrim.
look up.
You have to just look at the screen.
Like you
Oh,
turn
there's
to the left
answer.
and they're
Yeah.
just written on the wall.
I
and you're
kind of
like,
felt
"Whoa."
like I was like, oh, I'm kind of smart.
And it's dark,
You know?
and there's some red herring ones too, I think.
Yeah, there's the ones that
anyway.
were dubs.
This next part too, where you're following the
go back
Red
to chapter
Priest, is where there's the rocket launcher guys behind a painting.
Fuck those
Yeah.
guys.
Fucking-
Oh my
it's just such a
God.
funny visual.
Cartoon
to
So
me.
goofy.
assholes.
Because this is also when you have the two Wolverine guys fighting you.
Oh, yeah. This
No?
part.
No.
No?
No?
No, I know what
It's-
you're talking
it's way
about.
later
That was
on.
a hallway with a loop, with like a P
Yeah.
shape.
Aren't there also painting rocket guys in that part too, though?
There very well might be.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm misremembering.
I
no,
can't say
I
for
don't
sure.
think there is actually.
I'm pretty sure.
I
I
got
can't-
the footage.
Okay.
I can't be the deciding factor here. I don't
I
remember.
basically wrote down every single thing that happened as it happened.
I forgot we played Resident Evil 7, so
It was actually
true.
8.
8.
Village.
I can't.
Anyway, that's just a good gag. After you go through here, you actually get to the hedge maze. You need to find 2 halves of the moon stone to put it back together and then stick it in a door. There's a
Yes.
lot of round holes that need objects put into them.
Round
Oh, boy.
holes.
I love round holes.
Story of my life.
Lots of them.
When I
Lots of 'em.
again when I first played, because the thing is, I'm trying to put myself back in that mentality because I know this game with the back of my hand now, and I can just blaze through it.
Mm-hmm.
But the hedge maze was overwhelming the first time because the dogs
Really?
were overwhelming.
I was
And-
unnerved because you can hear the dogs the entire time, and they make this scary fucking noise until you kill all of them. And it doesn't have any, if I remember correctly, intentionally, it doesn't have any sort of surround sound placing, so you don't like your stereo placing, so you don't
Right.
know where it's coming from. You just
And
know
they
that they're
can
around.
also just rip through the walls when they want.
They do.
Yeah, they
they
come
jump.
right through
They
the-
jump
through walls.
right
Yeah.
through the bushes and they kick your ass.
It was just like I remember one of the harder parts of the game.
Really?
It was just, for
maybe,
me,
yeah.
first time, yeah.
I
was-
don't really remember. I don't remember a lot of the second half of the game from my first playthrough. Like the stuff that sticks with me more is the village because this second half of the game was so scary for my preteen self that I had to like take gaps. You know what I mean? Where I'd like I'm
Yeah.
gonna play Resident Evil 4 next week. You know what I mean? Like next weekend I'll play more. You know what I mean? But
like, you're
I
not
had to
ready.
keep stopping.
Still kind of scared.
But like this time around, I didn't really struggle with this part. I kind of just had this mindset where I was like, well, as long as I just keep turning, you know what I mean? Eventually,
Yeah.
not that that's like how
Put
you
your
die
hand-
in a corn maze, you know
Put
what I
your
mean?
hand on the wall. Yeah.
Right, and also there's a couple spots where you get like you get up and you can kind of like see
A little bit
Yeah.
of overshoot.
it helps you get where all the treasures are and stuff. But
What helped me too is that in the little gaps, especially in the little gaps between the bushes, you could see the enemies sometimes. Maybe not so much.
Yeah,
the
every
dogs,
now and then.
But like the red robe guys, and
Especially
the black
any of
robes.
the guys guarding the treasures. You could
Yeah.
always see them before
there's
you got
no
there.
guys in this part. There's only dogs.
There's guys.
There's guys in this part.
There's guys in this part.
I swear to God, there's only dogs in the hedge maze.
You're thinking of onlydogs.com. There's guys. There's
There's
guys
guys because
protecting
you got the
treasure.
guy. You have the red robe guys guarding the treasures.
Yeah.
Like that. There's the treasure chests all throughout the hedge maze.
Yeah.
Each treasure chest has a red robe guy standing there.
Matt's looking at us like we're a couple idiots.
Yeah, I'm 90 on this.
I'm
confident.
yeah. I remember fighting guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't have like. Matt's, you're gonna look.
There was
pull up the
also
footage.
dogs.
Definitely dogs. They're the main guys. But
Yeah, there's
I was like-
guys.
there's guys.
I'm not
pretty-
dumb.
like-
There's guys.
This is in the thick of me being like maining
Thick with 2 C's.
with 2 C's. This is me maining the shotgun, so I was
yeah.
so ready for this part. Like the
The
entire
shotgun
time.
is the way to do this part.
Yeah.
Especially, do you have the striker by now, or are you still on the
I never
semi-auto?
upgrade. I never went beyond the riot gun, which I probably should have. But do you have access to it at this point? Maybe.
I couldn't remember because I'm talking about the one that's like it's got like the drum magazine on it. Yeah,
In the pump.
so good.
I kept the automatic one. This whatever the fuck it's called.
Semi-auto,
Yeah, it's just a great gun.
I really like how there's also sometimes the dogs just like behind, like they're like in a weird little kennel,
Yeah.
and you can blast them before they get out. I'm looking at a footage of it right now.
You're looking at a footage.
I'm looking at footage of all of it. Not a single guy.
What are
Is
you
it as you
talking
leave
about?
then? Is it when you're trying to leave the hedge maze
There's
to get back to
guys.
the other side?
There's super guys.
I fought guys in the fucking hedge maze.
They were protecting. Yeah, they were protect.
They protect the treasures.
He is walking up.
Okay.
He's walking up to the treasure chests.
There are Hundo P guys in separate ways in this spot, but there's also guys when you're Leon.
Oh, you might be thinking of separate ways because there's not. What? Did you capture your game footage?
I did. I'm gonna have
There's
to
no
review it.
guys.
Listen.
Where's all the
There's no
guys?
guys.
There's no guys in my footage, and there's no guys in this footage.
That she just found. I feel like I'm being gaslit
It-
right
but
now.
you-
Spotting
Someone's
invisible
gaslighting
guys.
me.
But if there's guys in the separate ways version, you
Yeah,
could
I
just be
get-
conflating.
I get what you're saying.
My memory is that there are guys in both, but let us not linger.
All right.
Let us
well,
know the truth.
We'll. I don't even know how to prove this now.
I'll run home real quick and watch my footage.
So once you get inside, you are back like in it's like a weird like master bedroom.
Yeah, in a very
It's like,
odd
it's like a
place.
nice Airbnb.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And Ada's there, and you're like, "What's going on?" She's
has her-
like, "I'm being coy. I'm not going to tell
She
you."
has her
I
cool
love too
glasses
that. Yeah,
that
there's
she
like
never had.
you don't notice. You're like, she's like, recognize me, Leon, and you're like, who are you, you crazy bitch? And then she's like, recognize me, and he's like, oh my god, Ada.
Oh my god, Ada Wong.
You're like-
And like, are these the glasses that have a bomb in them? Right?
yeah, because she drops
No,
them.
it's a smoke screen.
Right. Like
Oh
a
yeah,
smoke
but
bomb.
but they
yeah,
blow up.
do.
Because
it
she
has,
drops
like-
them and you see them on the ground. It's like beep beep.
And I
beep,
think
beep,
this was
beep.
maybe I know I've seen other games with this, but I think that was kind of like a Mega Man reference. That's such a Capcom thing because they said warning, and that's what it says before the bosses in any of the Mega Man games. You guys are,
I've played Mega Man.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
No,
also
okay.
just like it was just kind of a.
I gotta specify, starting from like Mega Man X, like one of those ones, not the first game, but they did have this giant screen that says like this isn't Mega Man 0. It says warning. It's like beep 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 beep, and then you fight the boss.
You could be correct because it is Capcom. Also, it's very common for a thing to say warning before an explosion.
Yes, like I think it's also just
That's-
it
yeah.
seemed like a pretty common just thing because it's also reminded me kind of like the Smash Bros screens. You know what I mean? From like just
Oh, like,
Super
like
Smash
like the
Brothers.
courses.
A new
Yeah,
foe
like
appears or
as a,
whatever?
yeah, like a new foe appears or like it was
Or
a similar
challenger
similar
approaches.
text. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, either way, this closes out chapter 3-2. When we get
she-
to 3-3,
She explodes and she jumps away.
she jumps away.
Yeah, she loses both of her
but
legs,
there's
but
a-
she
there's
still
a-
crawls away.
It was kind of a cool scene
Fucking
because
blows.
it starts with her putting a gun to Leon's back, and then he flips around and he grabs the gun and he's like, and then she does this crazy like she kicks up in the air, does the second or third backflip that she does in the
She does a
entire
backflip in every
playthrough.
scene.
There's a lot of
She always
backflips.
does these crazy backflips. Weirdly, no panty shots for her.
She's got a long dress on.
Yeah,
Long
plus she
dress.
doesn't wear underwear and you can't show pussy on
Yeah,
on
Oh,
you
that's
games.
right.
can't
They're
show
not allowed.
vagina.
They hated that.
Then it would have been AO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but then
If it even got a rating.
Leon manages to like close the gap with her as she's like raising her gun and he like, has the knife to her throat and he's like, you should use a knife or use a blade in close quarter combat. It's a lot quicker or something. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's kind of cool. And then he like, takes apart the handgun. It was kind of cool.
And
love that.
I may have just seen too much. All that stuff went right through me. Just like, all right, come on.
I
Like,
have to be honest, yeah.
Ada's fucking.
You didn't think that part was cool? That part was kind of cool.
She
does a
probably
flip.
less cool like the 5th or 6th time I've seen it.
Probably, yeah. But this that was a virgin experience for me. And I was like,
It feels like an absolute. It just those scenes feel like I get what they're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm like, I'm not 14. You know what I mean? Like my balls have dropped, and I'm like, I
didn't care about-
I'm not angry anymore.
didn't care about the flip, but
I'm not full of rage.
it was just like Leon's a badass. You know,
He is a badass.
I
Ada-
already felt that was established though by the
Yeah.
robes.
By everything he's done up until now. So chapter 3-3, it starts out, you're like in a dining room.
Chapter PP.
And yes, you start out in a dining room. This has one of the cool puzzles where you are reading all these inscriptions on the wall, and what you have to do is there's like a weird, like mini shooting range with a
Yeah.
with a bell in front.
In a wine glass in a painting.
Well, there's much
there's a-
more stuff in the painting.
Yes.
What?
So there's a painting of a meal, like a spread, and what you need to do is shoot the wine glass, and the wine glass like shatters in the painting somehow.
You stole his thunder
was
by
a-
mentioning the wine glass.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, 'cause
I
he was
didn't see
walking through the
anything
whole-
else. Like I used.
There was a fucking turkey on there.
There was
Saw
like
nothing.
15 items.
There was a
The-
full roast turkey, candles, like it was like a
I
Thanksgiving
saw nothing
meal.
else. So the wine glass was an actual wine glass that was like affixed to the wall. That's why it blew up. Idiots.
I'm not sure that it
I had the
was.
scoped rifle, so I saw it instantly. And I was
Well,
just
I mean,
like,
like,
You're
it
supposed to use
stands
the scope
out.
rifle to that's how you
Scope
solve the
rifle.
puzzle.
Yeah, you have to use
But I
this-
don't think it's.
fourth Reichel.
I don't think it's an actual wine glass.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I don't think
we about
so.
to do
I
this?
think it's surrealist. I think it's just some surrealist
I'm just
bullshit.
I'm just trusting Matt from now on because there weren't people in the hedge maze, and I'm questioning my entire reality now.
My
And apparently,
truth,
I've seen you guys play Resident Evil 8.
my truth is that there's like, it's like a half, like it's like cut in half almost, and it's a comically huge, and you just
No,
blast it and it goes.
you don't. You also don't remember
It shatters
anything
your
else.
glass.
You don't remember anything else being on the painting.
No,
So I'm not going to trust
because the wine glass jumped out at me. I was like, oh, I probably
because
shoot
it
that.
shines.
And earlier on, I think you see another painting there, like something mentions wine glass.
Yes, that's what I said. There's inscriptions on the walls which hint at what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I got to shoot
So
a
you
wine
figured
glass.
out the
probably.
puzzle.
And I was
I love to like his response when it's either his or Ada's response when they're reading them. Is like, what the fuck? They're effectively just like, what does this mean? Like, what are they
it's
trying to say?
looking behind them at the camera.
Right,
like,
right
what the
after
hell?
this, I think this is an optional encounter where if you go up, there's a treasure chest on a pedestal,
Fuck this room.
Yeah, this room sucks.
and a cage drops, and suddenly you're in there. You have like a thing in this. I'm not even sure if the thing is in the center.
yeah,
it is.
there's the pedestal that's like
And
a
then-
column with the chest on it.
And then you have like maybe 2 paces of room, around the pedestal.
It's like a
on
square
on
donut.
any one side. And you're getting swarmed by guys.
Yes.
There's guys on the outside shooting you with like arrows and flaming arrows and shit.
Flails.
yeah, there's like cultists dropping from the ceiling into the prison cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
You're
goddamn
also fighting a claw guy.
yeah, Wolverine's also in there.
Yeah.
I think.
And this again, the first time I did this just fucked me up. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's an optional encounter though.
I'm 50-50 on that because I can't remember.
You trigger it by going to the chest, and I think you can just walk past it.
You
I
think you
feel
can
like
just
I
go to
skipped
that
it
back
one
door?
time.
None of the times
yeah.
I walked to the chest, there's an ottoman or like some sort of like fucking cabinet all the way to the left corner of the room. I totally avoided the chest. I was going for the chest. I was going for the antique thing because it had something like a grenade in it. I was like, I'll grab that, but I got halfway through it, hugging the wall, and it still triggered the.
Oh,
thing.
okay. Then it's not.
Then it just does, yeah.
But crazy little battle. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not much more to say except
No.
it's fucking crazy.
Did you guys fight the wolves there?
Yes.
You fought the wolves there?
Yeah, there's tons of wolves in that area.
Tons of wolves
you
in
saw
there.
you saw my bullshit instantly. I
but-
sold it so well, and you could tell it was bullshit.
God-
Because
Goddamn,
I made very detailed notes.
I didn't consult mine before we started doing like when I got here. I
that
didn't
was with the
consult
fish.
mine.
The fish was.
That's when you're
This
fighting
was-
the salamander.
This is the first time that one of the Plagas
Del
left
Lago
the
comes up.
body of its host.
It what?
Yeah, because they're like the head crabs from
Oh.
Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
when
fuck.
you shoot the guy, the Plagas will come out and they'll chomp your head off or whatever. But
Or
on
they'll
this
swing
one,
their
they'll
little
actually like
axe
leave
blade.
the body and run around. And
Oh,
so
they're
I'm not,
very,
sure, I'm not sure if it happened in the game before, and I just like shot them too quickly.
I feel like the first time it happens, there's like a slight moment, you know what I mean, of Leon effectively saying something like, we're like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like that was, well, that was different.
But this is the first time they actually left the host entirely
Yes.
for me, and it was so I was like not only getting fucked, 6 ways to Sunday, but also had like little bugs crawling around. So it's
There's,
like, and you have to like again, you can't aim low
Down
super
No.
fast,
easily,
like,
yeah.
because you're usually in this range. You don't
Yeah.
Usually kind of like
shoot
the
down.
like, hey.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was just fucking brutal.
I immediately panicked, and the first I died probably 3 times in that little
same
thing.
here.
And then the first time, I didn't even realize I could get out of the prison cell. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
so there's 2 doors, and each one has a heavy padlock on
yeah,
it.
which you can
takes
either,
a few hits.
or
I think you can just
get the
knife
blind
it.
guy to charge into it, and he breaks it for you.
That's a big brain. I think you can.
That is how it
It
works.
took me a few tries.
I forget because
for that to click in my
Because
head.
anytime you face them, they have some sort of trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can knife the locks in one hit. At least I did every time, but that was usually outside of combat. So I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I don't think these
Yeah,
locks. These,
these are like
2
the
kinds.
the
I know
normal
if
locks
you
you can.
kick it,
These were
it
like
doesn't
the
work at
heavy
all.
padlocks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
After I'd completed the fight, it could have taken damage during it from something, and then I only had to do it once. But every lock I found, I could knife in one hit. That would have saved my ass if I had known that during.
Right after this, Luis shows up, and he's like, "Hey,
He's got the sample.
He's got the sample, and he's got like pills to help your."
He's got him and he's like, "Don't worry, guys.
He's coming in slow motion.
He gets fucking
He's like,
stabbed by a spiky tentacle.
He goes,
So this is like basically foreshadowing Sadler's final form. But it comes out, Sadler kills him.
he gets fucking pierced through the chest.
Yeah,
It's
and
like a
then
scorpion
Through the back.
Sadler, Sadler walks away.
yeah.
After grabbing that sample.
Yeah,
He does grab the.
He
I
gets
do.
a sample, but he's just like, it doesn't matter. Leon's fucked.
He crashed that
He keeps
piece of shit.
underestimating him.
Yeah, he really has this feeling, and then steps
Step
away.
away.
That's
I love that song.
I have no idea what that is.
a
the Bartender
bartender by Rehab.
Yeah. Really did
Bartender.
this? We talked about it once.
It's a horrible song.
I think it's all right.
It's as good as any pop song.
It's no
Recently.
Hello Kitty by Avril Lavigne, but go on.
That's true. It's no Emo Girl by Machine Gun Kelly, but go on. Go off, King.
Go off, King. I can't fucking remember what we were talking about.
All right, that's the end of chapter 3 and 3-4.
Luis gets his ass killed, and then,
Yes.
yeah.
I said that.
I'm bringing Jordan back.
Sadler gives you. It's like this is like the one of several opportunities where like he could just stab you with that thing now right after.
But he doesn't want to because he
Yeah.
believes once that you're fully, because he doesn't believe that you're going to have any sort of antidotal procedure.
Yeah.
So he believes once you're fully formed, you're going to be a great asset to him.
Yeah.
Which is like there's a
Or once the Plagas is fully developed inside
Yes.
of you.
Which is kind of foolish.
well
because of-
there's a note you find later on from Sadler's perspective that makes you kind of go. He's clearly just so arrogant and so like overconfident, despite the fact that you know what I mean. I don't want to spoil anything because we'll get there, but
Right.
like he should have just cut your head off right there. You
And
know what I mean?
Sadler would have been aware that your personality persists a little bit as you
Right, but he says
progress
that.
develops.
He's like he
That's what I was
eventually
referring
does
to.
mention that like
Yeah.
So, like-
that your basically like fortitude up until this point is going to make you that much more of a better.
I thought that
servant to
implied.
him.
I thought that we talked about that earlier. I thought that implied that if he was not somebody that wasn't into being a pawn, they would have their more
You
independence.
have more autonomy to a degree, but I still think that you're still
Ultimately-
his.
subject.
You're still his subject.
I think you end up as more of like a Torres Mendez or a Salazar.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like because Torres seems to
You can speak. You can.
but he
you're-
also
you're
seems to like
conscious.
boss around the other Plagas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he kind of seems to a degree do what he wants.
It
You know
seems
what I
very
mean?
hierarchical.
Yes.
All right.
That's that's my impression of it though, because
Yeah.
you know, even yeah, well, we'll get into it eventually, but there's other people that show up that are also infected.
Yes.
Chapter 3-4 is where you reunite with Ashley.
Finally, I also love the whole time they set up this elaborate trap for Ashley. They got her into it, and then there's like multiple points where Salazar calls you to be like, "We're gonna find her, Leon. We're gonna get Ashley. She's just trapped there against that wall, but we're going to get to her."
Yeah.
And you're like, "You haven't already?"
Yeah,
Right,
you're
so
like, this is
you're
great.
up on a balcony basically, or up on
Yeah.
a higher tier. Ashley's down there, and you shoot the bindings off of her. You've now looped around to where the wall reversed.
I shot her on accident.
No, I was gonna
sucks.
say
She
I s-
dies.
I
One
saw-
shot, she dies.
Oh,
Yeah, I
It's-
saw a clip
yes.
of that.
It's like-
I saw a clip of somebody doing that. I was like, oh no.
Because I just took out the TMP from the balcony. It was like,
Oh no!
it was too
Precision,
much
precision.
spread. I know.
So then there's like a fun little part where she's running around trying different locked doors and you're sniping guys.
I fucking
It's
hated
very
it.
much like Max Payne 2.
It was so-
Remember when he's like,
Reminiscent.
"Oh, the door's locked."
Yeah.
He's like, gotta go check the other one.
Honestly, it's a pretty realistic scenario. Why would these be unlocked?
How do we even get into this construction
Pretty crazy
site?
that we're here. I don't understand. Really.
So then, you know, she gets
Gee,
away.
I hope you don't die
'cause
soon.
She opens the door, blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
I think
blah,
she
blah.
gets the key off one of the guys after you kill him.
I believe so, yeah.
I think she says, "I have the key."
I found it was in his asshole, but I got it out. It was in his nature's pocket.
Don't come. Then you play as Ashley, and so again, thinking back to the first time, I thought that the parts where you have Ashley were the fucking worst. Not that bad.
No,
I thought the
and-
part where you play as Ashley was like the fucking worst part of the whole game. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
fine.
and I thought
I dug it.
like having Ashley was a way bigger mechanic and part of the game. But then I like playing through again. I'm like, oh yeah, you like fucking lose her all the time.
Yeah.
Like
You lose her like 3 times,
you
Kinda
go
thank
through like
God.
big sections of the game after you find her where like you don't even see her.
and it's so
Yeah.
nice.
I love it.
It's because
even
you know it
it's-
just adds a little challenge when she's there.
yeah, it's not even like it's that annoying because, like you said, you can just be like, hey, fucking wait over here behind this wall.
It is a very
and I'll be back.
very well done escort style.
But there
thing.
is like still that little bit of added anxiety.
Yeah, and I love like especially she will get the fuck out of your way for the most part, but
the
it's,
most part.
but
Unless
it's
you're
still
knifing.
realistic.
Well,
She's
she's
not gonna-
stabbing.
Yeah.
She's gonna get cut.
If she's mostly behind you when you start stabbing though, she will lock to your back and like pivot with you.
Oh,
as you
yeah, yeah,
turn.
yeah. Mhm.
And like it's pretty realistic. Like
And
if you
unless
shoot
she's
a
pinned
person
to that wall, you really can't blast her
yeah,
with your gun.
if she's across the room and you shoot her, you're gonna shoot her. But if like she sees if you aim, she's like, oh fuck, she'll duck down. It's pretty fucking well done.
The HD mod does have an option here to put the original Japanese camera angles in.
That's right.
And so there's fixed camera angles in
You
this
guys,
part.
do you guys do this?
I didn't do it.
Oh, in
because,
Ashley's part?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
checked it out, and people were like, it's better they edited it out for the American
Yeah.
release. But it's a throwback to Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I turned that shit on because I was just messing with the menu when I started the game. I had no idea what that was. And I got to be honest, I assumed since they said censored or removed, I assumed it was going to be a horny something. So I was just like, I'll turn it on, I'll see what happens. I was like, I wonder
Like,
what
it
No,
got
it
to
just
the
makes
part-
it harder.
Yeah.
It does. It does make that scene harder, but very cool. Maybe I can give you my
Yeah.
footage or something.
I
but
really
it was
didn't-
really cool to do that part.
Oh yeah, just
With
that.
those camera
Oh,
angles,
okay.
it really brought me back to because I played the Resident Evil 1 remake a ton when I was a kid.
It's a cool little throwback. It's a great reference, but mechanics-wise, it's
hard.
easier without it.
Yeah, it really
reminds
wasn't.
you of
This
playing-
wasn't really a difficult section
Not
so
really.
for
no.
me-
with the regular camera.
The slide puzzle was the most difficult thing, and I've never been able to do slide puzzles ever.
What's a slide puzzle?
A slide puzzle is a puzzle where let's say there's a 3x3
Yeah.
grid with one piece missing, and you need to slide the images around.
Similar
make
to-
a
Oh
unique
yeah, yeah,
image.
yeah.
Similar
I'm
to,
good
like,
at these.
one
I'm
face
great
of a
at
Rubik's
these.
Cube.
I played a lot of Mario Party.
I am dog shit at this.
I
This
had
took
to
me a
look.
while.
I've always had to look it up.
Yeah.
I
And the
figured
first
this one
time
out
I
pretty
did it, it
quick.
was not as easy to find info on the game.
Yes.
Back in 2005.
You had to like go to your local Scholastic book fair and buy like a cheat code / like
2000
walkthrough thing.
cheat codes.
just
Oh, we had
PS2,
game
2010.
facts since like
Yeah.
2000, but
well, yeah, I know, but
I wouldn't buy a book.
I did.
I tried it for a while. You could rent the book. I tried it for a while.
I
I
bought
got
them.
it like mostly, like maybe 2 of them were out of place, and I was just like, "Fuck!" And then I just brute forced it.
Well,
I just,
good for you.
and then it slid into place, and I was like, "Thank
Yeah,
God."
Good for you, cunts.
I played. When I said I played a lot of Mario Party, that was a joke. I loved that game Rush Hour as a kid, where it's like the little blocks and you have the cars and they're all in a parking garage, and it's the same idea where like there's effectively only like maybe 2 spots on the board that aren't taken up by cars, and then you have to slide them to get one specific car out.
Even as a child, I would sometimes get like a little slide puzzle as a toy. Like
I feel like
just
we got
little,
those all the
You know,
time,
little
yeah.
thing, and I would never be able to do them.
No.
But let's move on. Chapter 4-1.
Oh my God.
Ashley's back. This is where you finally reunite.
Yes,
She
he
gives
was
you all
back.
the loot that she picked up.
Back again.
You do a little, inventory transfer. The only inventory transfer in the whole game.
She opens her mouth and regurgitates all of it into Leon's because you don't have a backpack. It's like
She
where you
does.
just-
No,
Where's how
she
she-
kept some of it in her boot.
Yes.
That's where Leon has a special knife.
She just takes off her foot and just like dumps a bunch of fucking herbs
Oh
and
my
bullets
God!
out.
What the fuck?
This is such a minor part of the game, but it's like, how do we get you from point A to point B? There's
Roller coaster.
There's a little roller coaster thing. There's
a
a
little- yeah.
little track in here.
It's that.
It's like a
weird
padded.
shit.
It's a padded like velvet.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
beautiful.
Like
It's
It looks
regal.
like a Disney
Yeah.
haunted house thing.
it
Yeah,
feels like
it does.
maybe like I remember getting to this point and I was like, I'd like to think that Ashley and Leon like had a little moment on the road where they're like, it's kind of nice, huh?
There's no guys.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah,
It's-
like,
and
but
you,
they
you
had a
just
moment.
Sit down,
Where, yeah,
And I expect when I got on this, I was like, "Holy shit! Is there gonna be
gonna
like a
be
minecart
on-
level
on rails
Okay,
section.
well, there is a minecart section eventually.
'Cause of course there
but,
is.
But I was like, "Oh, no! They just had a pleasant little ride
Yeah,
in the next
just
area."
which like I remember seeing that on the map leading up to that and being like, what's that? Like I didn't remember
that
that. And I was
big
like, what's
line?
this big fucking
Yeah.
snake? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Going.
Hilarious. Right after this is the funniest thing in the game to me. Leon's like, "Wait here," and so you need to like what you're getting are 3 pieces of an animal picture. That's like
Yeah.
a wall relief. It's an ornamental wall relief, and so you need to. It's like a statue in the wall. You got.
It's a very
classic
Resident
heads.
Evil.
This is the part
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
Krauser's trying to kick your ass.
Yeah, and there's dogs everywhere. and the guys in the red robes are guarding all the treasure.
I did. There's a lot of sections that are very similar to this,
Yeah.
but one of them does have treasure.
So this is the funniest part in the game to me is when he's like, Ashley, wait here, and you go ahead. You get on a platform that's a platform with two gigantic gears.
Oh yeah.
And he just stands completely still, and the gears like move him forward.
This was
I don't know why
preposterous.
this.
Well, because if
visual
you
is
put
so
your arm
fucking
out,
funny
you're
to me.
losing it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you didn't
looks
move
like-
at all, because if you do this, it just rip it off.
It's very similar to fucking Axel from Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
He's
the guy who's
black
just
guy
in the
stuck
wheels.
yeah. Very similar to that, but it's just like you step on what would be his head.
He was like
and it
my
just-
favorite. That was my favorite character.
He was badass, yeah.
He's the best.
And this leads you to another ridiculous part.
The lava room, which in the HD mod looks insane. That part always looked good, but they really did it here. And
The heat wave,
Yeah.
like the fucking whatever they're called, like the heat distortion, I think is the term.
yeah, and there's like there's cultists like on these like
What the fuck?
dragons that are like hanging from chains in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And it's
And
just
they have-
like,
It's
one of the
what is
most
this lava chamber?
And they're
incredible
shooting-
What is
yeah.
it built of?
Why is it there? And they're shooting.
How
you.
is this bridge still standing?
Yeah, platform,
stone is-
spinning
There's
death
like
platform.
spinning like birdcage platforms with like get through the door. And
Yeah, is this like a
I love this part.
I guess maybe it's like a torture like gauntlet.
No,
that they would
it's
make
like-
people go through.
it
No, it's
feels
just
like
insanity.
It feels like it's just a pigeonholed fucking like a
lava part.
yeah, like the cool off apart puzzle traps.
Yeah,
The only thing they didn't do was an ice world.
there's no
Yeah,
ice
they
world.
didn't. There was no cold
They did,
moments.
they did
There's-
every other classic
there's-
video game trope, and they didn't go to space.
Ice World and Tunic.
No juice world.
Don't know if you go to space yet. There is an overworld though.
Okay,
Alright,
good
So,
to know.
but there is an ice world and a frog desert world.
Have you
and
guys seen Nothing But Trouble, the Chevy Chase movie?
no,
It's very similar to this. It reminds me of this a lot, where it's like
There's a lava world.
sort of like basically Chevy Chase is driving, he gets pulled over by a crazy cop, and they're like, well, we're taking you in, and there's just like this like weird little area where there's an insane judge, and he just sentences people to to death for very minor infractions. But they're trying to escape this compound, and it's just Chevy Chase and a female actress whose name I can't remember, and they're just going through all these crazy scenes, but it's very much like Resident Evil 4, where it's just like, and now there's a fucking, for no fucking reason at all, that makes no sense, there's a room like this that they're in.
right? Just like
Yeah.
there's a pit of lava on this
Yeah.
farm.
It's the
And
trash
they're just
factory.
going from like section to section trying to get out of this fucked up house.
I love that there is also a trash room in this.
There was a
like,
trash
like a
room.
literal trash.
Yes, we'll get there,
factory.
we'll get there
It's a
soon.
a really spicy line.
So this is a huge chapter. You keep going. You eventually get all three pieces of the ornament wall relief, and you then soon fight the 6 knights as you're getting
Yeah.
the kings and queens grails.
Right.
that was sick.
The night battle fucking rules. You fight
Yeah.
in 3 and then 3 more.
Yeah. I can't remember if it's this part, but this had one of the weirdest rooms to me, which is just a room where it's like there's just like you're kind of on like a weird platform bridge that goes across, and there's just this big glass wall down below, and on the other side there's like the glass case with like some random treasures and ammo like inside of it.
Oh,
and
right,
yeah.
right.
Is that coming
that's
up, or
that's
is this-
nearby, yeah. Because you
Yes.
get the RPG there.
Because there's that bridge, but there's no railing.
And it was a really that was
Such an odd
That was
room.
another like impossible room where you're like, what is the functionality
Yeah,
here?
definitely. The level designers made a level, and then they're like, ah, fuck. It's
I wanted to grab my water and just, there was nothing there.
all gone.
You
That's
mean
a crazy part.
This water.
Oh,
Damn it.
you got your water.
Right after this, Salazar hits you with the spike room. Where there's just
Yes.
the ceiling coming to crush you.
Yeah. And you have
And-
to like shoot the eyeballs on the ceiling.
Yeah, and that was great. There was a reference to the Jill sandwich line, but now I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was?
I'm about to be a Leon Ashley sandwich.
Yeah, he
He
just
says
says something like
something
we
like
almost got
that.
sandwiched. Like he just
Yes.
uses the term sandwich.
Uh,
but it's
just a
like-
little. And that goes,
It's not too on the nose, but if you're aware, obviously.
And I'm glad.
'Cause the first game, they didn't know they were writing like that. That was a translation issue. It was
Right.
an all Japanese team doing it, so they were just basically doing their best approximation.
yeah.
And then, thankfully, they embraced it.
Yeah, because it is.
It's to the
it
strength
is
of the
funny.
series.
And it
Yeah.
is like it's fun because like for such an otherwise like adult and serious game. You're
Yeah.
like, then he's
Everyone's a moron.
yeah, everybody's a fucking idiot, like just a horny asshole. Everyone's a horned up
Yeah,
meathead.
it really is. I think it's definitely a strength. I love the more serious tones of the more recent games, but even still, there's some fucking silliness to it that I really
yeah.
think adds to the
You're
experience.
just like, I love you, sweetie. I love you. Just get it, cuts your hand off. You know what I mean? It's like that's not totally serious.
I love those little throwbacks because you got to remember, I haven't played any of the Resident Evil games aside from Resident Evil 1 remake on GameCube that I got when I was like 8. So this is the second. Despite watching you play through all of them, and I guess I did play the Evil Within. So this was like a big
Resident
thing
Evil
for me.
Within.
The Resident Evil Within. I fucked it up. So yeah, all those little references, especially to the first game, I picked up on them instantly.
I super cut you off just to talk about that weird room, though.
The room was weird.
It's all right. So basically, what happens
It
next
ends
is
up being important later on,
the
too.
Novistadors, I believe they're called.
Those the bugs?
Novistadors, yeah. The bugs steal Ashley. They literally grab her.
Yeah.
And there's even a
robots.
note where like Sadler's like, thanks to the Novistadors, we have Ashley, and it's like, you just have bug servant, like bug man
Monsters?
servants that like live in your castle, and you
just-
just have like some sort of relationship where it's like, hey man, we'll mostly stay in the sewers or in this tower,
Yeah.
or in the enormous caves that are somehow part of this castle.
Yeah.
And if you need a favor, let us know. Thanks for sharing the space. with
Reach
us.
out to us with your little bug mind powers.
Yeah, and
you got bugs in you. We are bugs. We get it, man.
You're the meme of the crying, screaming woman saying, like, you just have bug monsters? And Sadler's like the Chad, just like, yes.
Yeah. So this
Yes.
next part is so good. There's the clock tower, and there's a note where it's like, if you can jam the clock tower in 3 different parts, like
That was
jam
so
3 of the
fucking
gears, it'll give us
stupid.
just enough time to get the ritual done. It's like,
Yeah.
What?
We'll stop. This will stop Leon for sure.
so make sure when you're jamming the gears in the clock tower, get like 3.
Just like 3 of them.
3 is good.
And if you could just
more, no
use like
less.
just a
Different-
2
one at
rifle,
each
just
elevation.
like some rotted wood.
Just a little bit of wood.
Something that's easily
There's
shot.
some wood out there.
out.
There's a couple shims left over from when we were putting in the new bathroom.
Do you want us to just shut it off?
No, just jam the gears in a couple places.
I could pull a whole gear out, and that would make it. No,
That
no,
could
no,
break,
no, no.
like, I mean, we could break it.
No, because I really like the clock tower.
I don't really want to fuck with the.
I don't want it to be off for any longer than it needs to be.
Right after this is where you do finally get through the clock tower. You go all the way up, go all the way down. They're storming you from all edges. This is
Yeah.
a great part. You go
Lots of
through,
grenades and shit.
this is where you fight the 2 Wolverine
Yes,
guys.
because
It's
it
right
kind
after
of like
this,
there's
'cause
like
you
a little
go-
stairs.
It's like a
You're
hallway
going, it's a hallway going
with
up.
stairs.
And
There's
they
a
might
little
not be
pew.
behind the painting, but I'm pretty sure there are RPG guys at the top, or at least one RPG
I
guy
cannot confirm this.
at the top of there.
I don't remember, but I
It
remember.
could be just flaming crossbow guys.
I think it's crossbow
I
guys.
will. I will
But I
give
don't know.
you that.
I'm leaning on crossbow.
I had a feeling
this
it was,
was
RPG guys.
If
Great-
there was
great battle.
I remember.
Yeah.
I feel like if there was RPG guys in addition to that,
Oh
I'd just
no,
be like,
I had the
fuck.
RPG.
Oh.
I had the RPG, and that's what I'm thinking of it because I saw the 2 claw guys there at the end of the room, and I said, "Fuck this!" And I just
Yeah.
shot the RPG.
Did it get him?
Nice.
Yeah, I killed both
Oh,
of them.
nice. First time I finally used mine was in the lava room to knock the guys down in the weird dragon statue things, because that's how you get a treasure.
Oh,
Use the
yeah.
RPG for that?
Yeah, because I kept shooting it with I only had a pistol and a shotgun at that time,
Oh.
and I could not break
You
the
didn't have a
locks.
rifle?
Not at that point. I was
He sold
very
his shotgun like right away. He was going real weird and bare
I
bones
was
about
very
his weapons.
conservative, and then like once I locked into upgrading a weapon, I kept that shit. I'm like I was terrified.
Almost
to sell
all of my
something.
guns are almost fully upgraded.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
I
just
was
about all of them.
concerned, and this clearly isn't the case now. But going through, I didn't know that if you sold a gun and got a new one, it would still be viable and as you upgrade it. But I didn't know, and my guns were so upgraded.
Oh,
that
like
I
if you had a
didn't
fully
know.
upgraded, like if you had the pump shotgun fully upgraded and then you got the striker.
Yeah,
That the
obviously-
striker, you'd be like, oh, is this worse than my fully upgraded?
Right.
And I didn't know
Yeah,
how long
no,
it would
almost always
be.
levels up.
Yeah, so it would have been fine, but I locked.
It would have
in.
been nice to know though to not waste money leveling up those guns early on.
Yeah.
To know that you're just going to replace it. You know what I mean? In a little
Fortunately, selling
Yeah,
the
but you get a pretty hefty profit.
bit.
selling
Yeah,
it
that's
back.
fair. Yeah,
Upgrades,
that's
not
fair
bad.
once they are upgraded. Like putting the cat's eyes in the Stein, baby.
Yeah, so you find Ashley. Salazar still has her, and they're preparing the ritual. So he has his 2 he has 2 of the bug men with him, and they're standing upright wearing robes.
They're
Yeah.
fucking
And when I was a
creepy.
kid, I was 16. I should be held responsible for the crimes I committed when I was
No matter
At that
what.
age.
No matter
true.
what.
No, I remember just on a CRT and everything, it wasn't totally clear to me what these things were because
You can only see their eyes.
I
and,
still
like,
didn't know what they were.
pincers.
The little mandibles.
Only now in the HD mod on a big screen, I was like, oh, those are the bugs. It's the same mouth and everything.
It didn't become clear to me. I'll be honest
And
with you.
I was
There might
so
be a
bummed you
different-
don't fight them.
You fight one of them.
one of
No,
them.
never.
Yeah,
You never fight the bug men in the robes.
yeah. That was one of his little lackeys.
You never battle one.
Do you remember when you battle him? He's the guy that's like sending shit through you in that timed sex where you have to wait
What
for
the fuck are you talking about? He's the
the
one
fucking-
sending shit through you in that
You
time
have to use
sex?
more descriptive
there's-
words.
there's a
when you
He's
time-
the one sending shit through you in that time sex.
I gestured from the ceiling. He's sending out spikes and shit that you have to dodge in that timed segment where you have to wait for the elevator to be reactivated, and you can throw like this like freezy gas on him, liquid nitrogen, but you can't kill him.
That's not the same character.
It is. Because you mentioned that you fought him later on in the game.
And then
No.
he fuses, and then Salazar, spoiler, fuses with his other lackey, and that's how he becomes the big motherfucker that you fight from Final Fantasy.
Yes.
No.
He does fuse
Matt,
with
we
the other
can-
guy.
Jordan and I can take you in a fight.
And I'm 90%
There's
sure.
There's two of us. I don't know about one-on-one, but there's two of
You're
us.
talking about the Verdugo. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's
Verdugo?
the enemy that you fight. Yeah, where you can use like the.
He's a fucking. He looks like an alien, and he kicks your ass.
yeah, that's
one of the.
that's not one of the robed.
Yes,
bug
it
men.
is. He has the little. He takes the robe off. Takes it off
You fight the robed bugman.
for sure. You just can't kill.
You
doesn't
talk about
seem
it
like
when
you
they
can kill
when they
him.
meld together. They talk about you fighting the other robed bugman.
They talk about you fighting a
They
robed bug
they
man.
mentioned they mentioned that you have taken out the other robed bugman. You've killed my other lackey or whatever. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Like, you've-
remember that.
Who
but
said that?
Salazar.
Salazar. Then he fuses with the other one. Then
He
becomes
mentions at
the-
one point that you killed the other guy, and he's
He
like
takes
upset
the
about
robe
it.
off.
I'm pretty
You
sure there's.
see
I
him
don't
take the
remember that
robe
part.
off?
I don't remember that part. I
There's
know you
there's
fucking
some
fight
sort
him.
of thing where like he like yeah, where like to make it clear.
This is.
I'm not hot about this. This is just my. This is like.
I just did not.
Yeah, this guy was fucking scary. He's like 7 feet tall, and I'm sure, like in Resident Evil, there's always a way that you can kill the guy that's chasing you. Like Mr. Sex, you can at least like hinder him from moving. But this guy, I don't know if you can.
Okay,
kill.
yeah, he's one of the right hand bodyguards of Salazar.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
I never made that connection.
Yeah.
You don't see him take the robe off. He just shows up.
I didn't remember seeing him take the robe off.
Somehow I recognized it as the same guy.
It
So I'm-
mentions it later. That's the only reason I knew.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
instantly-
didn't. I also didn't think I fought him, and then they were like, "You killed him earlier," and I was like, "Oh, that was that fucking
Well,
weird
that
guy."
that explains a
bugman.
lot.
That guy was fucking invincible. You couldn't do anything to hurt him.
What?
The when you're fighting him in that timed segment where you're waiting for the
can kill him.
elevator. that's what I was saying. Is I mean, you probably can, but
It's like
I
the-
pounded him, and
It's like the Spider Woman in Evil Within 2.
If you
I mean,
just
Evil Within
fill
1.
him with
where, like,
bullets, eventually he will
technically your
die.
first encounter with the Spider Lady, you're not supposed to kill her,
But
but
if you
you
manage,
can.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to use all of your ammo. You know what I mean? You're going to use every single thing that you have.
I got down
that
to
you can.
one gun.
All right, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. So before all that nonsense, all right, I won't stand for this. You find Ashley.
Malarkey.
Salazar's like, fuck you, and he basically kicks you into a pit. And as you're falling down, you use a little grappling hook gun and save yourself.
very normal.
And Ashley's like, he is alive. And it's very goofy. But this is where what you were talking about, that pit full of dead cultists.
Yes.
The shit
You're
pit.
like looting their corpses, and fucking merchants just set up like, hey,
He's just standing there.
It's
"Hi,
"Hi,
stranger."
and then just goes back to just staring blankly.
Yeah, he kind of watches you.
He
as
does
move
watch you,
around.
but yeah.
Yeah, so you're going through like a cavern, like mines, or not mines. It's just like
No,
caves.
it's just caves, yeah.
Maggie Mines.
And then you do eventually get out, and that's where you go through that corridor. Yeah, you're waiting for the elevator. The Verdugo shows up, which I guess is one of Sadler's bodyguards. I never understood that.
I wonder what that means. Does it give the transition?
I didn't
you looked
care.
up? All right.
Listen, man, I speak one language,
Matt.
love.
Speak one language.
No,
Pussy.
no.
Pussy man.
The way to kill him is you do need to take advantage of every one of the canisters.
I didn't realize that that's what those were for until like my fourth
Because
death.
your damage, it's like a 3x damage multiplier.
While
when he's frozen.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So
it
the
does
fir-
say like, so there, I remember seeing something that said it was a big multiplier.
Yeah, so what you do is freeze him, kick him, and then just like lay into him with your heaviest gun.
I didn't know you could
And by
kick
the
him.
last one, you'll get him. And he drops one of the jewels for the crown.
No
I
kidding.
killed him, but it was just I was stressed because
How?
I thought I
The
had
same
missed-
way?
I didn't kick him, but I just unloaded on him and threw grenades at him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like I really dumped a lot into him because that's my, like, I did it with the spider in Evil Within.
Yeah.
Where, like, I didn't think you were supposed to kill the spider, but I was like, you can kill any enemy in a game. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
I can fucking do whatever I want.
I wish I had killed him because man, he
It's
gave me
not
such a hard
easy,
time.
and it gives you one of the most rare treasures in the game. You know,
pretty
the
good.
2 crown jewels are like the 2 hardest things to find, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not find the other one.
I did, I don't remember
There was
how.
a couple, because we also,
can't remember.
when you come across all the bugs in the big fucking hive, apparently you can destroy that hive. We talked about it last time.
Right,
Yeah.
I did not do that either.
And I didn't get any of those treasures, so who knows?
I think at this point, I think Steph was watching me play when I fell down the pit and the merchants there, really silly. And I had sold a lot in rapid succession. Like I just like click, 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 selling a bunch of just whatever I had. And he does the same exact voice clip every time he sells something. He goes,
Yeah.
thank you, or something like that. And she just started like,
Thank you.
started spit a lot right there. Did you guys see that? It was disgusting.
I don't care.
She started laughing at that because he was just like,
Yeah, he'll restart it every time you interrupt him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like your little NPC
What
going.
do you?
It's after this battle, and you get back up to the elevator, that you get a cutscene letting you know that Krauser is working for Sadler.
Krauser.
And so, just real quick, in
I
a
remember
game
him from
from the game that came out in 4 years after this.
afterwards. Yeah.
So yeah, there's the Resident Evil Chronicles games, which are the light gun rail shooters for the Wii.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that
And-
what it was?
And in one of those games, you find that they were both like in like Iraq together or something. Like the actual like 9/11
were
and like
Desert
the War on
Storm.
Terror and everything like is a part of the Resident Evil.
Then it's probably
History?
Desert Storm then if you go
No,
canonically.
No. Early 2000s.
Okay, yeah, so yeah.
Pop punk.
Yeah, so Iraq. You're in Iraq.
Yeah, Desert Storm was late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s.
I don't know how long ago they were in a war together.
Like literally like 3 or 4 years prior to the events of this game.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, so fuck.
Yeah. So the game came out 4 years later, but it tells the story of like Krauser and Leon were like in the army together and like served over in the Middle East and like
But then they go to like another Spanish-speaking place
yeah,
in the game.
They go a bunch of places. Like I'm really hazy on the details. I just remember like seeing like War on Terror and being like War on Terror, and it's like the War on Terror 9/11. I was like, this is 9/11
game.
part of
9/11
part of
happened in
Resident
Resident
Evil
Evil.
lore.
It's really happened.
It actually is. So I might be a little confused about which exactly thing happened. I think they are in part of Africa, or is that's also in 5?
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't
5,
fucking
yeah.
matter. Either way,
I think it
Leon.
it finishes in a place.
I feel like you're just in like you're on the east of the Mediterranean. You
Yeah,
know what I
'cause
mean?
eventually-
Whether you're in North Africa or fucking Syria, it doesn't
Krauser
matter.
faked his death, and he like over the course of the war, he didn't really believe
Is
in
that why he's
bioweapons.
got the big fucking?
It might be.
so
Stop doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Krauser, you end up dealing with this family who spoiler alert for that game. No one's gonna play it though. There's a family. The father has one of the viruses, T virus, Veronica, whatever fucking virus. He infects his wife with it, and he infects his daughter with it as a method to try to keep them alive because they both have some sort of genetic defect that's going to kill them. It's successful, but at the expense of something, and he's end up being evil. It's actually a pretty compelling story. I didn't play it, but I watched a lore review of it. What happens to Krauser is right at the end, the mom turns into a giant monster. You don't know it's her until the end. Her dying move after you defeat her is she throws out one more tentacle that gets him in the arm and that infects him with
Right.
the Tyrant virus, I think. The one that like Wesker injected into himself to give him the superhuman ability.
Oh, my understanding was he lost that arm, and then it was like regenerated somehow. It doesn't fucking matter.
But he
All
fakes
it
his
is
death.
that his experiences with bioweapons, he finally learned they were real. He faked his death, and he went to
Yeah.
Wesker to go, give me the power of
Yes.
these bioweapons. And that's where he is now. He's working for Wesker.
Once he gets infected, he's just like, I can't. I'm infected now.
Yes, and he also
he falls into that
has the
trap.
plagas as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got
yeah,
all.
yeah.
He's got
He takes it willingly.
syphilis. He's got
And Sadler's like, well, you're a useful idiot. I'm gonna, basically,
Yeah.
we'll take you into the fold. Although Sadler never actually trusts Krauser, he's just using him. Krauser is the one who, and this is like explained through memos and through the assignment Ada or whatever, separate ways. Krauser's the one who kidnapped Ashley for Sadler.
Yeah.
So when you see this, like, no one knew that because it was still 4 years in the future before that lore was established.
Yeah, very.
And like Krauser's just like, hey, old buddy, remember me? Remember me, comrade? Hey, buddy. Oh, like seeing your old friend, Krauser? It's like,
Like, see my cock.
as someone who's like, at that point had been pretty familiar with the Resident Evil series,
You're
there
like,
wasn't
who's
a
this
ton of
fucking
games.
guy?
Like, wait, Leon? Was he at the Arklay Mountains or something? I don't remember him.
Yeah.
So, Matt, actually, you sent me a video, really a pretty decent video, covering the lore of every Resident Evil game. At
Every
the
Resident
time.
Evil piece of media.
Yeah, and that
okay.
to their credit, that's a hard video to make. So props to them. I watched
There's a lot
it.
out there.
Yeah. There's like, I think I watched 20 minutes of that video before it hit Resident Evil 4, and it was very brief summaries of most of these experiences. So it wasn't quite spoiled for me, but that did give me the exposition as to who Jack Krauser was a little bit.
His name's
But even-
Jack?
Yeah.
That's funny.
They all have very interesting names. Also, dictate Jack Krauser or any of these fucking names into your phone. It's going to spell it differently every time. So I had a little bit of context. But yeah, I can imagine just being like, who the fuck is this guy? Especially if you had kept up with all the Resident Evil games. Like,
Yeah.
This is a new character.
It was strange for them to establish backstory but not tell anyone.
Yeah.
As someone who's not really in, like, I'm not that I'm not into Resident Evil, but I just don't know a lot of the lore, and I haven't played many of the games. I played 4, 5, and 7. You know what I mean? And like a little bit of 6.
Random ones, yeah.
And but I thought it was Wesker. I was like, oh, it's Wesker.
I thought it was him too at first.
I was like, I don't know.
Totally
Fucking-
understandable.
They're both just like blonde crew cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beefy
Sunglasses.
dudes. Yeah.
Wesker's not that big, but maybe he got roided out.
Yeah, I'm like,
my-
I don't know. It's been I hadn't played the original 3, so
My final piece on Resident Evil lore is it's a fun ride, but it really, I think I sent this in a text to you guys, it really seems like Capcom had a advanced like story generator and they just fed it the words infection, helicopter, like apocalypse, and zombies, and then they just did whatever it generated.
Yeah.
The story is very like, they connect it all, but it's like preposterous.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's not really worth
It
like,
got even like that video came out before Resident Evil Village, and it gets even more insane after that.
yeah, it's very fun to go through, but it's not as rewarding as something like the Remedy universe. You know, you're not going to be like, whoa.
All right. So chapter 4-2, you go back down. You take the elevator into the mines, and you see the Ganados again for the first time in a long time.
yeah.
And this is where you are.
They're mining.
Yes. Is that?
What could they be mining for?
I don't know. I don't
Probably
get it.
iron and like, no, it's the Plagas.
Yeah.
Oh, right. All right. You did it in such a way. Yeah. You find fossilized plagas, and you find that they were
Yeah.
purposely
Buried.
there, and then Salazar, because he's like a little suck up, was like, I think I'm gonna take this back.
They were
out
buried
and-
there by Salazar's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, I'm sad. I want somebody
I'm a
to like
rebel.
me.
Because I had never heard of this term. I think he was already corrupted by Sadler, and that's how it happened.
There's like
But
suggestions that somehow Sadler had corrupted him
Yeah.
beforehand.
They're called
even if it's
Castellans?
just like he
Yeah,
Castellanos, right? Or no?
Yeah, I never heard this word before, but it's like there's the term for the ruling family that usually lives in a castle of an area. I never
Yeah.
heard that before.
Sadler kind of guys hooks in them, and then because you find a note from Salazar's butler who's like, "Oh, I should have stopped this,
Yeah.
but I didn't," and it seems like Salazar's gone evil and.
But
fucked.
he's like, it is my job to serve this family, and I will serve them regardless.
So you get the dynamite, blow up a big boulder, you go through.
Big boulder.
There's more bug caves. You find your way all the way back up to the surface, and then you're in like a blown out village for the start of chapter 4-3. 4-2 is like kind of a quick one. 4-3, there's just like these like blown out village ruins. There's like a bunch of like Ganados like hanging out, like looking at shit. You take them out, and there's a door, and it says you gotta make a sacrifice to the lion. So of course, what you do is you go down a hatch, and there's like an indoor desert, just like full of sand. It looks like you're inside like the fucking pyramid levels from Mario 64.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Again, like where the fuck are you? How big is this area?
It's suddenly you're in Egypt. Like in this one,
Yeah.
suddenly you're in
Egypt
ancient
is
Egypt.
downstairs.
You're in a pyramid. Like
So it was at this point that I got my Infinite Rocket Launcher. And,
oh, okay, because you were doing the New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can use a rocket launcher at really close proximity without taking explosion damage.
I thought, the game was generous with the explosions because I think they knew
Even grenades, yeah.
the grenades weren't super precise. It doesn't even have like a line to indicate your trajectory.
Right. It took a while
So,
for
like,
games to kind of get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, I'm like, it could just be something that I'm used to, but like it feels intuitive at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And, like-
but you could be like 3 steps away from someone and hit them with the rocket launcher and get no blowback. Where in most games,
Jesus Christ.
like from like Doom, even like
Yeah.
you don't use a rocket launcher in close proximity because you might catch the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This, I probably couldn't hit Andrew. I could definitely hit you. I could probably hit Andrew's foot.
My foot.
Right, and just be
Safely.
all right. Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't believe like because when you use the rocket launcher, you might fire it 4 times in the whole game.
Yeah.
I used it.
Otherwise.
Well, okay, I mean,
twice.
it costs $30,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
You
pasitas.
find one free one. You get
Yeah.
one from Ada at the end of the game. I think that's it.
That's the only
Aside from the
given
ones you could
ones.
buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So using it
I
a
also-
lot, I couldn't believe how fucking easy it is. to
When I bought it, I didn't realize that it was one single use. So like when I used it that first time, I was like, no.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's a cheat code if you're like, I can't beat this boss.
Yeah.
I've got 30,000 gold. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I always
It
had
seems
a-
like kind of like a built-in thing that the developers were like, I get that some parts might be hard for some people.
Did
know
you
what I
guys
mean?
always still like have a decent amount of money throughout the game? Like,
Yeah, there'd be a
Yeah.
couple minutes. Like once
I'd sell everything.
I'd get there, I'd upgrade all of my shit, and then I'd be a broke bitch for like
a minute.
until the next time I saw
Yeah.
him, and then you know what I mean.
If you're paying attention and you're getting the secrets, I felt like I always had
Yeah, if you're getting all the
more
treasures,
than
you're
enough
fine.
cash. Yeah.
There's a second Crusher room.
I am more of the
And then
womps.
That's
right after this is the minecart ride, which is one of the
Yeah.
most fun sections of the game where you're on a fucking Donkey Kong style minecart
yeah,
ride.
there's 3 of them. You can jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Back and
really
forth
nice.
between-
And I was fighting to like, I was like trying to like just knock people down so I could get the treasure from the cart like behind them. You know
Yeah.
what
Right,
I mean?
I was
like,
too.
I was trying to be,
I
I
was
see
like,
ammo.
shit. It's so frustrating to be like, damn it, I could really use that thing, but I'm not gonna ever get it.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's just a fucking cool part.
Yeah.
And guys are jumping from these little platforms.
That scared
ladies
the shit
too.
out of me,
There's a
'cause, like,
chainsaw one
you
eventually.
can
Yeah.
you can get them before you get to them a lot of the time.
You can
If you're,
blast
like,
them
you know
and they
what I-
fall
I was
off.
Yeah.
rocket launchering them.
Oh, there you go.
And they were just the whole platform, just like, oh.
I was TMPing them, just like
Man,
spraying
you love that
throughout.
TMP.
Well, it's good for those. It's good for it's good for those moments because it's like when they're standing on the ledge, as we pointed out earlier. For whatever reason, whenever like an enemy's standing on an edge, they have less health.
Yeah, they
You know,
do.
they just have less health.
Because you just pop them in the
Right,
kneecap
'cause
and they
even-
go, oh!
You stagger them.
They
or
have
whatever.
no balance.
But like the first time that they actually jumped off and landed in the cart, it like scared the shit out of me because I thought that they just hung out until you shot them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
So that's the end of Chapter 4.3. Chapter 4.4 starts with the giant stone Sadler statue,
Or
which is
What
Salazar.
the
you
Salazar,
fuck
yeah, yeah.
is this? Yeah.
you know, he's just doing this, and sometimes
I was
he'll
like,
do
that motherfucker
this.
At first
alive.
he's not. At first he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
then you
have to,
gotta
like,
activate
activate
it,
his
and then he's like,
arms.
Instantly, I said, he's alive. I was like,
Yeah.
that thing is alive.
I know.
somehow.
This is a
walked-
great little puzzle.
I walked in there and like I had forgotten about it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, this
It's
is
such a good set piece.
the most. Yeah, it is, and
Oh,
it's like
so good.
It's just another like absurd thing thrown in
Yeah,
there.
and there's
don't
tons
even,
of
like-
little, you crawl around him, you fight other guys.
Yeah,
and
he has
then,
a switch in the back of his head.
Yeah.
You have to basically activate everything. Once you get down, you're trying to get these like platforms. There's like a big pool of water between you and the exit. Yeah, as soon as you get that, comes to life, chases after you, and you have to fucking do a QTE to get away from him.
It was
You're like-
awesome.
You're just casually walking, and suddenly the thing that's been doing this for the past 15 minutes just goes,
moving its hands up and down.
and you're like, oh fuck! And it seems like a really counterintuitive like design by Salazar because He chases you. He breaks through the fucking
Busts
wall of the
through the
castle.
wall.
Steps on the bridge. Immediately, the entire bridge gives out.
Yeah,
Got
makes no
destroyed.
and
sense.
cannot
Yeah.
support it. And you're like, well, what's
Poor design. He just wanted.
what's the point of?
I
You
can
wanted your
imagine-
own Liberty Prime. You know what I mean?
I can
Yeah.
imagine
Like-
Salazar talking to the head like goon. He's like, "I want the giant statue of me." He's like, "But if it falls, it's gonna break through the wall."
Sir, we can buy you still.
I want it! I want it! I want it!
So you meet up with Salazar after this, and he's shit talking you, and you're like, "Fuck you!" And you fucking throw a knife at him.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
sticks
pretty,
it to his hand.
That was badass.
And
And he's like starts crying.
He's like, ah, ah.
he cannot handle that. Yeah.
But I got distracted for a moment. I looked down, I looked back up. He takes the knife out of his hand and throws it directly into your throat.
Shit, really?
If you don't get this QTE.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I died from the robot, the big Salazar chasing me because I'd set my controller down to take a.
Yeah,
To
I just
wipe my
I
sweat
got
away from my
distracted
brow.
so briefly, and it was. I'll show the footage here. It's so brutal. He just takes the knife and just. And he goes down.
And Leon says, "Oh no."
I have my notes.
His knees.
He walks away. They're still hell bent on getting,
farting
you know, on getting the ritual going. The ritual being like finalizing Ashley's transformation before sending her back home to Daddy. I have in my notes here. There's the Donkey Kong ass flaming barrel tower section.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I said the same
Oh my
thing.
god! And you have to
This is
inevitably
great.
deactivate them. But the cool
Yeah.
thing is, like, is then with some of the
Ah.
traps, at least the cool thing is that you can then later reactivate them.
Yeah, it's
to like
fun.
That
use
was
against. Because then you have people like they're like, you know, whatever they fucking yell, and they're like, "We're coming up the stairs. Hey, Leon, get ready. We're coming up the stairs."
They
You know what I
literally,
mean?
one of the lines they say in Spanish is like, "Behind you, asshole."
Yeah.
And then you turn around, you're like, "Oh, they are."
There's also you're getting to the top of this tower. There's a little elevator. Excuse me, elevator section. And there's just guys jumping the elevator. This is a classic, again, a very old school like SNES style thing where it's like
Yeah.
Final Fight, Fatal Fury, like the elevator going up, guys coming in.
Weighing it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even weighing it down, just
I think it slowed it when,
maybe
when they fell.
Oh, well, it kept like stopping at certain points. You had to
Maybe
like
that was it.
clear things out. You did have to. There was too much weight on it before too. Yeah, with the.
Oh, you had to push the boxes
the
off.
crap
You have to get all the dogs off of it. There's a bunch of wolves in
yeah,
this section
Matt, you
just
remember?
hanging out on the
I
elevator.
do,
pull- can
and
you
then
pull the
and then
foot?
right after this is where
80 fucking dogs. It
steamrolls
was
through it.
crazy.
you think you're gonna find Salazar and Ashley. You finally get there, but he sends her off to the island. To
with
Fantasy
Krauser,
Island.
by the looks of it. Krauser's like on a little
little speedboat.
little skiff.
Little skidoo.
And this is the.
It's not a ski.
So this is the Salazar battle, which again is identical nearly to the end of The Evil Within in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I stomped his ass.
He's
Yeah.
very easy to stomp his ass, and if you basically get like 2 hits on his soft spot, he opens up, and then the rocket launcher, he's dead.
Yeah.
But he's not.
I had the black butterfly at this point,
Ah.
and which is like the first Magnum you get. And if I had to dodge, like I had to do a quick time thing once. Because I literally, you have that, you shoot the thing in front of you twice,
You can
he
get the-
pops out, you
you can
shoot
get through
him
in one
twice.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fucking no problem.
Did you guys fall in the shit pit under him though?
I went down and collected all
Yeah,
the.
it was like, I
you
think
can
I
do that
hopped out
afterwards.
afterwards, but I didn't like
but
fall.
during
in
the
the
fight- I didn't.
Yeah, during the fight, there's like 50 fucking just Plagas like
I think they just
butterfly monsters.
fucking spawn the whole time.
Yeah, you,
Oh,
you have to
okay.
deal with them if you fall down there. But if you, there's also a bunch of loot. Also, I'm remembering those guys were probably the inspiration for that one enemy in, well, I'm sure a lot more than just that one enemy, but in Dead Space. You guys remember the little crawly, like, as
Yeah,
almost
very
wings?
similar.
There are there's a couple enemies that you're gonna come
Yeah.
across.
For
Yeah,
sure.
well, Dead
Oh.
Space. There's the devs have gone on record to say like when we saw Resident Evil 4, we were like, oh, that's the game.
They're like, let's
That's
do
what
that
we're
one.
doing.
Yeah.
And in some ways, you can see that is a direct descendant of RE4.
Absolutely.
With a little bit more mobility, a little bit more action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's you know.
It's like I mean, because they're obviously both same genre, survival horror, but action. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where
I think
Dead
about
Space
2
is.
years later, I think 2007
Yeah,
or
they
8.
were there. I think 2008. I want to say 2008
in
is when Dead
space,
Space
you know?
came out. But I mean, like you are again, as opposed to other survival horror, you're not overpowered, but you are equipped to handle what's happening.
handle it,
as
yeah.
long as you're doing what you're doing, and it also has that same perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The over-the-shoulder third person, and like the way you fight is very similar, and it's all
Just
in all,
that much more action oriented, you know,
it is
intentionally.
absolutely.
What is second person?
Second person a fixed camera, like or I mean like is second person like Mario 64?
No, that's third. That's
Or is
third
that-
person, just
no.
not over the shoulder. What is second person?
I don't know. That I've never heard anybody say second
Yeah, I was like,
person
I don't know.
camera.
Game theory. What's second person?
Somebody put it in the comments. Make us feel dumb. Maybe it's like second person as if like you're playing as Leon, but through Ashley's eyes.
Well, then what's fourth person?
That's when that's VR.
Camera's farther back.
VR is fourth person.
Fourth
That's when you break
dimensional.
the fourth wall.
What's 69th person?
That's when you're just sucking
Because
yourself off.
I'm asking, I'm asking because first person is your eyeballs, third person is behind you.
There might not
What's-
be such a thing as second person.
If you
perspective.
think about it,
Is that just
it doesn't make any fucking sense. There wouldn't be a second person.
why
Who
is it
the
called?
second?
Well, what's
Why is anything called anything?
Because there's a reason.
no,
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason.
not always.
But what is it?
It could just be convention. Then that's just like what stuck.
Well, because it's like, what's the second person form of storytelling?
That's what I'm asking.
I had no idea. I don't think it exists. Or if
It'd
it
be
does,
a
it exists.
character
in some-
within the story telling the story. But that wouldn't be real.
That would just be a narrator.
Fake.
I mean,
It'll-
if you
they're
think, if you
also
think about
third
it, if you
person.
think about it, the second person is just the second person in the scene. There's the first person, second people is everyone else. If you see from the perspective of the second person, you're back to first person. Third person is removed.
Whether it be an omniscient outsider.
Started with
or,
you guys saying you don't know what it is. Now you're telling me what it is.
No, we're
I'm
telling
not
you.
telling. I'm telling you, it probably doesn't exist.
We're
because
actually
it doesn't make any sense.
just telling you what first and third person are
So I asked.
over and over again.
Right, but I'm saying if there is a second person, if you were to see it from their perspective, that would mean that you're back around to a first person perspective. I don't think a second
Yeah,
person
that doesn't make
perspective exists.
That does not make sense.
Anyway, you rappel down the tower, go down an elevator, and then you head to the island with Ada. She's like, "Need a ride, handsome?" And you get on the speedboat with her,
she's
and like
such a fucking
you,
prick.
you start to have like
Yeah.
a moment with her,
Yeah.
and she just like goes like, and
She
She
cranks the
fucking
wheel.
grapples off the boat and is like, "Peace out,
See you later,
loser."
Leon's like, huh? It's like, he's like, "Ugh."
very rude, very rude.
And
into
then
the
he-
rocks.
Yeah, he like breaks his fucking femur, and then he's just like, oh, women. And he like gets out. Like, what the fuck? You could have killed him.
Chapter 5-1. You finally arrive at the island. It's like a weird fortified ruins. It's like a mix between like the Egypt-y kind of like pyramid-y levels.
Yeah.
And
A fortress.
yeah, like and it and
literally
it's full of the
an-
militarized
an-
Ganados.
It
It's
seems
like
like a
an
place
army.
where like if you were like, "Oh, where does ISIS hang out?" You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'd be
the
like, "Here."
secluded island. Yeah.
It looks like this.
Because they have munitions, they have like stocks of food. Like it was clearly like
Yeah, but there's also like ramparts and
military
stuff like
outpost,
that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like barricades and shit. And
But it's
barbed
also all
wire.
like ruins at the same time, where
Yeah.
it's like,
they've been bombed recently or something.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love
so
the.
maybe it was abandoned and then the Plagas took over.
Who knows? It makes no fucking sense. Doesn't need to though.
It exists in a contradiction.
I like the guys
It's a
that
second person island.
are wearing ski masks and they have the shock batons.
Oh yeah,
Fuck those guys. They
They,
I like that when they come. This is like when they start doing it
have
more.
gas masks.
everybody
not
looks.
ski masks.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody looks like they're a fucking like they play in a Mushroom Head tribute band.
They
really do.
This is when they really start, like, those guys
Bunch of
specifically
Mudvayne
start giving
fans
you,
coming
like,
out.
they're coming at you, and then, like, you've got the reticle right on their head, and then they're like,
They'll dodge
"Oh!"
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that little snaky.
They're like, but I always love that they like snake, and then they're like, right back to me.
They go right back. And
then
they're
they're
like,
like,
all right, I
Oh, you
waited.
didn't expect that, did you?
They're like, oh, shit. But right off the bat, they throw the fucking gunner guy at you.
The chain gun guy,
Yeah.
the heavy gunners.
He became much less of an issue later on once I figured out how to fight him. Just cap him with the rifle 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
But
you
initially-
effectively just, like, get behind cover, and then, like, he will stop shooting. You pop
Yeah, you
out,
just
pop
gotta
him
wait.
a couple times, and then, yeah, you're fine.
You have to do the little puzzle where you have to rotate the light and bounce
reflect
the
it.
mirrors around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's fine, but
It's
then
like
you
some
go
Zelda
inside.
shit.
Ocarina of Time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it's like
very
a-
very Zelda-esque. When you go inside, like you're walking around this little compound, and there's one thing that is I always forget it's there, and it's so fucking good. A man bursts out of an oven in the kitchen
What the fuck?
Yeah.
and is on fire and just comes at you and drops. And
Yeah, he's just like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
And then,
But
Terrifying.
it's like a vertical like tanning bed or something.
no, it
They-
looks like
they-
just like a standing furnace.
What is a standing
there's
furnace?
ovens like that it look they have like you put trays in for like baking breads and stuff.
Is that what it was? It looked to me. It looked like a pod of some sort.
Well, it's
like,
in a
like a
kitchen.
burn pod. Yeah. All right.
I don't
but I
think
mean,
I don't
that's-
think it's I don't think it's made for burning humans.
Medieval
All right.
cooking was wild, man. There's like
I didn't notice.
ancient cook. Once they like took cooking to a point where like they had kitchens and they had people stationed in those kitchens to work, it was a fucking lawless Wild West wasteland for a while, where like you had
lot
stoves.
better now.
You had stoves built out of wood that you would then like could try to control the burning coals within it to
my
not
God.
like, you know what I mean, ruin anything or do it. And you had to like constantly keep adding wood or coals so that you could keep your oven hot. You know
Jesus
what I mean?
Christ.
It's like, yeah, it's cool to think about, but also like.
Cooking was even worse. Than
Yeah.
this
I'm
now.
pretty sure it's just like a big oven. I mean, I've seen. I
thought it was
I
almost-
watch a lot of like cooking videos and stuff, like bigger industrial kitchens. Like they just have ones where they'll just like put like 6 racks of food
yeah, I know
on
what
the
you
thing,
mean.
and
Yeah. Well,
it
then they
doesn't
also used
matter.
to
It's
have
just-
like
I thought it was some sort of like
to
pod.
bake bread. They used to have like it, especially in like these like European countries and like the Middle East and stuff. They have just big
adobo?
stone. Yeah, and you literally just take your dough and you fucking slap it to the wall.
Yeah.
Slap it to the wall. Slap it to the wall.
Why?
And it bakes.
Sticks.
Oh,
Because it
that's
bakes.
interesting.
Yeah. It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
My memory of it was that, or what I thought at the time is that it was similar to like the pod that Ashley is in later on. Not the same thing clearly, but
can
more
see
similar
that
where it's like a
it's-
vertical, like human is in there.
It's just that it's right in the middle of a kitchen among a
wouldn't
bunch of
make
other
any sense.
appliances.
Yeah.
But I also, what is the point of a pod that sets people on fire?
Yeah.
I don't know what's the point of a lava room.
Oh, you
where
got
are
you
gonna
there,
put your
Matt.
lava, jackass.
Where am I going to
that's
put
where
my
they-
big hanging metal dragons?
My spinning platform.
My bird cage.
As you're going through this little compound, I don't know. It's got all the facilities. It has a little like research room similar to Control, where you see like their surveillance room where they've
Yeah.
got all their notes on everybody.
And then they see that you're
There's
seeing them.
There's
And they go, meh.
You're skipping ahead.
All right.
You're skipping one of the weirdest parts too. There's like a bulletin board with like a bunch of pictures of Ashley and pictures of politicians with X's on them. There's a picture of Bob Marley and his band, I believe.
Yeah?
Bob Marley's up there?
Bob Marley and the Wailers, baby.
I'm pretty sure.
Are they trying to
pictures-
say they're the ones who shot Bob Marley?
Are there
I
pictures
don't
of
know. There's like a Tough Gong Records like logo, like banner behind them.
Are there pictures of wolves up there too? Is this real?
Yes. Are there pictures of wolves? No.
Okay. But there is Bob Marley pictures?
I'm pretty sure it was Bob Marley and the Wailers. So
That's weird.
That Tough Gong is Bob Marley's label, right?
Yeah, I'm like 90% on that.
There's a bunch of reggae guys in front of a Tough Gong banner, like on a picture that's like there's like papers in front of it, but the picture's like peeking out. It's like, did the devs
somebody in the-
like
yeah.
do this when they were doing the HD mod, or was that? I don't know. I
There's
don't
a
know who's
rogue-
responsible
It
for
could
that.
Rogue
just any
Bob
one
Marley
of the devs
fan.
might just be a fan of Bob Marley.
No,
Yeah.
but you see like a bunch of security camera monitors, and you see Ashley's in a cell, and then 2 guys come in. They're like, heh, heh, and they like lock the door behind them,
They're-
and it's very rapey.
Yeah.
And then
Gross.
what you
Jordan's
said,
doing a nasty.
they do look up at the camera and they block out the camera,
Yeah.
and then Leon goes, amateurs.
Yeah. What
Which-
the fuck?
That scene makes no sense, and you could just go, oh, they saw that he was watching them.
How?
How do you look at a camera and know who's on the other end of the camera?
Yeah. I don't-
Was there a hot mic situation?
What was
were you
Leon
talking?
saying?
Were you,
He didn't
were
say
you
anything.
talking? I thought he was talking to somebody, and that's what cued them in. Or it was just they were just seeing that there was a camera.
They were like,
Right.
we're about to rape this girl. Better
It
block.
didn't seem like they're gonna
Yeah.
rape her.
It was a very
did.
uncomfortable.
But there was no follow up. I don't think they did,
I don't think
You
they
don't
would
know.
follow
They just
it
cut
up.
the
Yeah.
scene.
unless she doesn't mention it. Yeah.
I didn't like it. I was like, I don't know what this is implying, but it makes no sense. And also, Leon's amateurs makes no sense
Yeah,
at
you're
all.
kinda like, what is-
amateur what? They're
Yeah.
the ones who have her in a cell,
Yeah.
They've successfully captured her
and
multiple
you can't even
times.
see what's going on anymore. They're not the
Yeah.
amateurs.
You don't know where she is
Unless,
or
yeah,
what
I
they're
was like,
doing
yeah,
to her.
that's the other thing is like, you just know it's a prison cell that she's in.
That's it. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing given away about like you've passed by a fucking bunch of prison cells so
yeah.
far.
You
know
don't
what I
see
mean?
like the lava room in the background. Like,
Yeah, no.
you're like, I know this.
There's another great part right after here where there's like a sliding like vertical like garage door, and it opens up, and there's
fuck
like
this part.
3 crossbow guys,
Yeah.
and you shoot them all, and then it goes down. It opens up again. There's 2 guys with rocket launchers.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it closes back down.
So good.
But like you couldn't like approach it until you killed them all because they
Yeah.
were in control of the garage door. It was a clever part.
Then there is the freezer room, and there's the key. And you gotta
There
get
is
the
a
key
s-
card
there
rewritten
is a
and go into
snow
the waste
level.
management room.
I guess that is
We were
kind
like,
of a
there's
snow
no
level.
snow level.
That's the closest thing. So you have to go in and you get a you have to get the infrared scope.
I like
there's
this.
these
I really enjoyed this
I
segment.
don't remember what they're called.
They're just called regenerators.
regenerators. That's it.
Which is also what they're called in Dead Space, which is why I was like, that's just a
Oh.
straight rip
It was
off.
straight up, yeah.
Because they're
Well,
like,
they have-
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, they have leeches, Plaga's leeches in them.
Yeah.
That you can only see with the thermal thing. And so you have to like
They're
find
actually
their hot
on.
spots.
They're on them, but they say they're inside of them. But on the 3D model, they are outside. Whatever. But
Also,
so
go ahead, and then I'll.
They might
say
be
my
burrowed
thing.
in.
they could be. Yeah, maybe they're dug in. So this is a huge Killer 7 reference. The Regenerators look just like the zombies from Killer 7.
The
and
Heaven
similarly,
Smiles.
Yeah.
It's the
they
When
same-
you zoom in with the thermal scope, that's like a very similar.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
just
It's
like it.
exact-
They
yeah.
have specific spots. Even the Regenerators themselves
Same design.
look just like they have the fucked up
Yeah.
like shark mouth.
Yep.
This was so cool.
It looks exactly like the Heaven Smiles. And then, yeah, in Heaven Smiles, they're these gray, fucking alien-esque, like, creatures that have yellow hot spots you have to target.
Yeah.
Same idea. Very interesting that they were able to pull that off. I just fucking rocket launched them, and then
Yeah.
their top half blows off, and their legs just drop. And
that's
Yeah.
cool.
I didn't know it was going to work.
Well,
So
because it's like
that's what happens when you pop them all. Because I killed every single one with relative
Relative ease.
ease. No, I like not. I'm not again. Like I said earlier, I'm not good at games.
Pro gamer.
Every fucking regenerator I fought, I probably missed like 2 bullets.
yeah, they're
I
not too hard.
nailed
They
them.
don't move very quickly. And the only thing that frustrated me was that
It
like
was a big accomplishment for me. Now you're saying it wasn't very hard.
no,
it
no,
wasn't.
I just mean like they're
But I just fucking
they're not
caught
moving
'em.
very quickly, so it gives you the time to like, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
actually line up your shot. There's not so much panic.
No, but if they do get you, they'll fuck you up
They will
fast.
destroy
And
you.
they look like when someone has like a 3D model that they're like fucking with, and they're just like stretching.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
Mario 64
Yeah.
intro.
looks like the doctor from Alan Wake,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god, Emil.
Emil Hartman.
Quick question. Do either of you guys know, because there's regenerate, this is not the first game that has regenerators for Resident Evil, I don't think, right?
I thought it was.
I don't know.
I feel like there were unkillable enemies in previous Resident Evil.
I can't speak to that because I've never.
There was probably something very
Yeah.
similar.
I was like, I
Okay.
watched you play through the 3 remake, but I've never played any.
Because
of the,
like in 4 they explain exactly what these things are, so
Right.
they're probably based,
And
if
so it's like
anything,
a-
based on a
'Cause I-
design from another enemy.
I forgot to look it up, but I wanted to see, because I feel like I remember that in the other games there were just, you could not kill them. Just
That was also just
unkillable
like
guys
the-
that only stayed in a specific section.
Yeah. One thing I noticed that was a little frustrating to me, and this isn't a real complaint, you know what I mean? It was just like a nitpicky thing. Unless you look at them with the thermal scope and identify where the slugs are, you can't just blast
You
them.
still can't pop them.
Yeah, like, because I tried just
Right.
unloading my shotgun on one, being like, well, I'm going to hit him, right?
Only
you know what I
rocket
mean? Like,
launcher will do it.
yeah, otherwise you have to zoom in with the thermal scope.
Because
And-
the scope only works on the rifle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reality is that you don't have to use the rifle. Once you've zoomed in with the scope, then you can just shoot them off, even without the scope. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
but you still have to
before
see that
then,
one time.
you have to look through the scope once before you start to shoot them. I think
Yeah, it's
that
true.
was my experience.
That
Okay,
sounds like
yeah.
that's how that
I
mechanic
was like, that was my
would work.
experience, and I was like,
Because a shotgun, you'd hit them.
yeah, but I mean,
Regardless.
sometimes they're on their back too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
You'd have
So
one
you'd
on the
have to
back.
like kind of continue to try. It wouldn't be any. It would be about as hard. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It was just a little frustrating to me that I couldn't.
I started
Because I
getting
wasn't a
into
huge
such
fan of the fire. I don't have steady hands, and I'm just fucking. I'm like with the scope. I'm like,
I love the sniper
Yeah.
stuff with the scope. But
I felt like such a badass because I would like cap the 3 on their torso, shoot them in the thigh, they'd fall down, and they'd start doing their disgusting like eel,
yeah.
eel
Yeah.
slurping towards you. They'd literally swim on land, and then you'd cap the one on their back, and they'd blow up, and I'd just be like, "Fucking yes!"
when you're first in this like little freezing area, like you're in a you go into like a weird like med bay kind of room, and there's a corpse with a plagas in its back, and the corpse is like bent
was
upward,
disgusting.
laying on its stomach, and there's
Yeah.
like it's putting like needle like
Tendrils or something.
yeah something
Yeah.
into its back. It's such a terrifying fucking image. Makes
And they're
no
like they're
sense.
frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
'cause I think it's,
petrified. It's so fucked up.
yeah, but it makes no sense that they like petrified, that they froze like that. But I imagine that's how like
Zombified.
because you see the adult Plagas leave. They're
Mm-hmm.
the you know what I mean, the Ganados
Mm-hmm.
every now and then, and so I imagine that's just how they like how
they enter.
those then re-enter another thing. You know what I mean?
The other part of this
Oh.
that's fucked up is when you're seeing all the regenerators just like on the meat hooks, just hanging out.
That was scary as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
Yeah, I was genuinely like, am I gonna? Because you turn off the walk-in, you turn off like
Yeah.
the freezer for a moment to do so. I can't remember
Yeah.
what.
To get the scope.
Yes,
because it's I think it's
And,
frozen shut or something.
There was like, there was this part of me that's just like, all of them are gonna unthaw. There was something in
Yeah.
my head that was like, all of them are gonna unthaw, and this is gonna be like the hardest part of the fucking game right now. And I was like,
Yeah.
I
And
don't
then just
want
one
to.
just fucking drops.
yeah,
yeah.
like a fat meat sack. It was kind of
Just
like
to give you like a tutorial, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
It was a little bit. It was kind of like old school cartoons, where like I could tell that like the one that was gonna be there was like the actual character model, and the rest was just like
yeah.
And what I mean by the old school cartoons that like you could tell when something was hand animated and not part of the hand painted static cell that was just the background. And I was just like, I pointed at him. I'm like, you're gonna come alive. I looked up at him. I think I shot him in the head just because. I'm like, you're gonna fucking. I know. Soldier Boy, I'm telling you right now.
Soldier Boy, I'm telling you.
Right after this, you use the key card rewriter to get into the waste management room, and there's the crane
fucking
game.
Crane game.
Yeah.
Which is such a fucking. I think you can only get one of the guys.
You can
I
only
got
get
2
one.
of them.
Did you?
But, yeah.
Did you get them at the same time?
No, you cannot. You can only do one at a time.
okay.
But I was able to
Once
get
they
another
crouch
one.
down, you can't get them.
Yeah.
But this is such a weird little aside that it's like
Why is there a
Resident Evil
crane?
4.
I love.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the charm of this game, really, and like
Yeah.
part of its longevity.
Just drop
is
them
that-
down.
Well, is that because like they mix in like it is just a good game. It is a good game, good mechanics. It plays well.
Yeah.
It feels good. But then they also put in all these like the classic stuff that you're like, I'm playing a video game though.
It's
You know what I
still
mean? Like
video-
give me
yeah,
the
still
video,
video
give me the
game.
video game shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I like
give
it's like a little mini game in the game.
Yeah.
It's like lots of great games.
because you can't take damage when you're up there, really. You know what I mean?
No.
I think eventually they might get up to you
Afterward, if you wait too long.
But you can see them. They'll all
But
like
also,
run
they'll
at once.
just freeze if you when you scare them with the crane.
Yeah.
They'll just stay frozen down there for a minute, and then you can just go fucking take them out real fast. This part feels really long to me. I have my notes, but you do eventually rescue Ashley. She's hidden like in a storage room that's being blocked by 2 of the fucking
Giant guys.
the animal and hawk looking guys.
Yeah,
and
the
In
Legion
such
of
a
Doom.
narrow corridor. I remember being like this
Those
part. I was
guys
like,
weren't
fuck.
really. They didn't give me a ton of trouble though. Those guys.
I feel like if they managed to get close to you, they'd wreck you. But way before
Yeah,
they got
you
close
can-
to me, I
yeah.
just capped
it's
the brains.
once you get to the striker for the shotgun, it has such knockdown like power.
Yeah.
You shoot them once with the shotgun and they fall down.
Cool design though.
So then
they
you
look
can
badass.
just kind of do whatever you want. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? At that point.
All right, we're in the home stretch here. Chapter 5-2. You jump down the garbage chute. They jump down the garbage chute.
You gump down that garbage, dude.
Because when you find Ashley, a paper airplane with a little kissy on it.
I hated this.
Comes in through the window. It's just like, okay. And Ada's like, did you know you can go down the garbage chute? And so you go, and Ash was like, no way. He's like, way. And
And then he fucking
He
pushes
grabs.
her.
He grabs her, and they just jump together.
no, I think what he does is he palms her like nose, and then takes her from the back of the head and just shoves her down the garbage chute.
That is. I forgot to do that.
She's
yeah.
like, I'm not doing that. And he goes,
It's very fast.
it's been very
It might have
violent.
looked like he just grabbed her. 'Cause
But
it was
yeah,
so
but
fast.
he's
But
very.
it's because he's a trained killer.
he's very.
he's like
intimidating.
Nick Cage in the
So
opening
this,
of Con Air.
This led to one of the best lines in the game.
Don't come.
Well, there's one of the maybe the second best line in the game. When you guys inevitably land and they're just both okay. She's like, I can't believe you did that. And Leon says something like, it's okay, well, it's all right. I knew that your butt would take most of the fall.
I knew you'd be fine if you landed on your butt.
Yeah, he does say
just
I
that.
like-
forgot about that.
It was just
She's like, he
so-
could have killed me.
Yeah.
And
like-
admittedly,
Because
like
Ashley's known for her giant ass.
Juicy. Yeah. Like, I
uh-huh.
mean,
no.
her
it's
big,
clear that
thick,
she has
juicy rap music
has
video ass.
big, long titties. So I don't know why. Like,
I hear
This
you
is
know.
so weird.
She's like probably got like solid C cups, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like
and I'm,
a
maybe there's-
white woman's no ass.
Maybe there's
you know what I mean? Like,
maybe there's a. You taking a picture of me?
No.
it's
okay,
like not.
maybe there's
She
a-
doesn't have childbearing hips. You know what I mean? There's
Not
nothing
really.
to imply that
Maybe
she's
there's
got
a-
cushion for
A
that.
big dumper back there. But
No, I
like,
think she's got a Hank Hill scenario.
I think it's just dumb writing. This leads to one of the best parts of the game. Ashley is like, I'll drive the bulldozer.
Oh
the
yes,
fucking bulldozer.
so fucking good. Dude.
I was terrified. Because, like, man, she hasn't been totally useless, but she's been very hands-off. And she's like, oh, I'll drive. And I was like,
I mean, she does kind of fuck it up at
She
the
does
end.
drive
Yeah.
into a wall at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just drives
she's
into
also
a building. Like,
controlling
oh, no.
the bulldozer part of it, too, the little
Yeah.
claw grab.
Yeah, she's got. She is
I don't- it's
forklift
not a
certified.
bulldozer.
Apparently-
What is it?
I don't know if that's a real
No, it's,
industrial vehicle.
It's like a mix of a bulldozer and a crane with like terrifying teeth.
But the back has a big, like, truck bed kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's
It's like a
if for,
dump truck,
dumping.
bulldozer, crane.
It's almost.
wow.
It's built more like a snowplow.
It is.
It is built a lot more like a snowplow.
It's a crane as well.
Yeah, it's
is
like it's
kinda
not a crane.
But
There's
you know,
no
when
crane
you see a
aspects.
crane that has like this thing on the end
No.
of it.
Kamehameha? What are you doing
Oh.
to me right now?
Okay, you're talking about like a front end loader.
A front end loader?
Yeah, that's more what this is like a front end loader or like a.
I can load her.
God, what are those basket arm ones? Like they have the big claw arms.
That's
that
what
come
I'm
down
talking about.
and they
Cherry
scoop.
picker?
I'm calling that a crane.
No,
Oh,
that's
those are,
not called a crane though. Like if you said that to a guy around here wearing like full Carhartts, he'd fucking laugh.
You know what?
That's a boulder. That's a crane.
I'm gonna get him put in Facebook jail. So it doesn't matter. This part fucking rules. You're just blasting fuckers out the back.
Him and his
everything.
sunglasses profile picture cannot hide from.
Yeah,
the
he's got his fucking $200 Oakleys, his $400 pair of Timberland boots, in his $2,000 trailer.
$8 shirt.
Yeah,
But after
from
this
Tractor
part,
Supply.
the chapter ends and you meet up with Sadler again.
Oh, but did you guys were you kicking ass on the?
It was like this.
Yeah.
I felt this is the most overpowered I felt the whole game. I was like, I'm ripping shit.
I was
doggy.
using the pistol and guys were dying in one hit.
Again
And it was
TMP.
sick.
I
It's a
don't know
great
why you
little,
guys
like,
didn't
victory
ever.
lap.
But then
wanna
also
use
the trucks coming at you from the other side, and you have to deal with that too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Oh yeah, and you fight the truck like 5 times.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But just like it's back.
Big Jeepers Creepers fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I looked that up. Jeepers Creepers came out in like 2001 or 2.
Yeah.
The sexual assault stuff with that director was 1988.
Yeah, it had been.
I didn't realize that he.
It was already.
It's not a
was
new
like-
thing.
I thought it was something that came out after
Oh,
that
that, like,
movie.
came to
I was
light.
like,
I
Okay.
did as well.
People, I've only heard about it in
No.
the last couple of years.
No, that was like pretty like
I didn't realize he was like, I'm gonna go away for a little while, then come back and
It's
make movies
it's
again.
kind of like Jared Leto being now a lead in a Marvel movie that's coming out soon. Even though like Me Too happened, and everybody was like, yeah, Jared Leto raped and assaulted people, and everybody was like, that checks out. And Jared Leto didn't deny it, and he's just like, I'm just gonna keep being a movie star.
I never heard that.
I didn't hear
No,
that either.
it's a
Crazy.
big thing. He has
All
like
right.
a lot of. I mean, who knows?
Well, I'm a big 30
But he-
Seconds to Mars fan,
He
so
wrote
I don't
Bury
really want to
Me.
hear this.
I don't accept this.
I loved that movie where he loses his arm from heroin, and his mom does a bunch of fucking
His name's
speed.
Crayon or whatever.
I don't think his name's Crayon.
It's Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, Requiem for a Dream. I think you're thinking of the
Rayon?
Robert Pattinson movie.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Nope, that's not.
So what happens is
He's in Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, but
what
I'm
happens
thinking
is
of Requiem
Sadler's
for a
like,
Dream.
oh, you think that I am not all powerful? Check this out, Ashley. And she's like, all right. So she just walks away. It's like
Her eyes turn
you know,
Mm-hmm.
she gets kidnapped by the bugs. She gets strapped to a wall, and she just walks away the last time.
Yeah.
He's
Well, because the
full
Plagas has
control.
finally grown enough in you. Because the
Yeah.
idea
Right.
is that it's been growing in
There's
you.
those
the whole time.
scenes where Leon like struggles and you could see there's a pretty good effect where his veins are like growing and popping and shit's like moving around, kind of like
Yeah.
the bug scene from that
The
movie.
Fly?
No, the where they're under the skin in space.
Oh, Super Troopers.
Super
No,
Troopers,
not
there
Super
you go.
Troopers. Sorry, not Super
Starship
Troopers.
Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Yeah.
Super Starship Troopers.
Super Starship.
Yeah.
And he also
Troopers.
kind of
Deluxe.
like fucking, you know, like force chokes kind of Leon being like, look, I can control you. So
Like your heart beating? Huh?
chapter 5, chapter 5-3, it's revealed that Krauser, Wesker, and Ada are all here. Well, Wesker's not
Wesker's
there.
not
I
there.
don't remember.
He's there.
He's in his-
like he has a stake in the
I'm there with you
situation.
guys in spirit.
In spirit,
But
or
I'm really
actually, I'm
just
in my weird-
here without pants on.
they're all
I'm in my
working,
room.
like-
I'm in my Matrix chair.
They're all working like both like kind of with and against
No,
Sadler.
everyone has like 12 agendas.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm
Out of the-
saying.
out of
Like,
the three of them,
they're all
yeah.
trying to double cross each other.
Except
'Cause
kind
it's
of
like-
Jack Krauser. He just
No,
wants
well,
power.
well, because Krauser thinks Krauser is like simultaneously like, I don't think Sadler trusts me, and then also like I'm using Sadler. It's like leaving
clear.
That's what I'm
notes
saying,
around.
like,
The smartest
everybody's
guy.
trying to double cross everybody. So essentially, what it is everybody wants the Plaga sample so
Yes.
they can use it to make a bioweapon.
or sell it
or
to
the
somebody.
antidote. Like they want one or the other.
Right. So
Oh.
Ada is working for an unnamed other corporation.
Yes.
She's trying to secure that, but she's lying and saying to Wesker and Krauser, "Oh, I'm working with Umbrella to help get the sample for you guys."
Yeah. And I
then-
think on separate occasions, Wesker's like, I never trusted Ada to Jack. And then to Ada, he's like, I never trusted Krauser. Like, it's just like,
Right,
what
and
the
then
fuck?
Sadler is like also like, I'll use Krauser to get Ashley, and then he was like, "I never trusted Krauser. You think I trust an American?"
Fuck yeah.
So it's a fucking mess. But
I
this
think
is
we-
It's like a telenovela.
We did, yeah, literally. Like from Max Payne 3, where there's like I think it was the third or the second one, where it's like a pregnant lady, and then also there's a prostitute, but then the prostitute's they're
and
just
they
like
give birth to the Goblin
preposterous.
Boy.
Yeah. I think we forgot to mention.
Classic.
We may not have. Louise, before he's annihilated by Sadler, he gives Leon those pills.
Right.
He's like, you got to take the pills, and that helps stave off the growth.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you
Until
catch
this
him
point.
popping pills every now and then.
Yeah.
He
throughout
says
the
like
game.
they'll stop your like shakes or something too.
Yeah. He's like,
but
you know, like
Luis-
when you get really sweaty when you wake up because you haven't had a nip yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You haven't had a little.
That
glug, glug,
curtails
glug.
that, yeah,
You know what I
keeps
mean? It stops you from the.
But
gives you
Luis
feel like I'm
is
trying to get
fucking. Luis is again like I think Luis is working with Ada for the unnamed corporation,
Yeah.
but also is working for Sadler, but is double crossing Sadler.
Yes.
Yeah, because what it seems like is like Luis got into it kind of just because he is a scientist and was curious about it, but
No, I
was
think
working for this
from-
group.
I think from the rip, he was hired by Ada's.
Yeah, but
other
I mean, like he was
corporation.
willing to be a part of it because he was also a scientist, and then the reason he stayed
until
for so
it
long
popped
and
off?
like
Okay.
and like didn't actually complete his mission was because he got so enthralled in just finding out how it worked.
Yeah.
and what was going on.
Yeah, and his memos do really inform a lot of the story. You
Yeah.
know? So
I think Leon and Ashley are the only characters that like don't have their own bullshit. They're just like
no, Ashley's a victim of circumstance, and Leon's there just to get her out.
Yeah,
and
but
he
Leon-
doesn't have a bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
Even Ada, she like there's like a third thing. She's like, I have my own goals or like my own.
Well, she
Right, 'cause
suggests
she's
that
working
she
for this other-
always has. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
But
like,
she's
why-
working with this other mystery corporation that she's two timing Umbrella. She's working for the mystery corporation, but she's probably gonna fuck them over too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very funny.
It seems like her plan.
This to go back to what we were talking about, the entire Resident Evil lore. It's this.
Yeah.
Everyone has 50 agendas. Everyone's always trying to double
Global
cross.
politics.
Yeah, it's very.
I mean, it's
I guess in that regard, it might be
it's
actually
like
pretty realistic.
like I don't know.
Oh,
It's
It's the way that
it's
a year-
it's kind of like how we have like that we're funding research labs in Wuhan, China.
oh man.
Or like a year ago that like Biden would have gone and like put his arm around Putin and shaking his hand, and I was
Yeah.
like, that man's
Oh,
a
right.
bastard and a war criminal, and you're like, he's been the whole time he's been. Like, you know what I mean?
It's just everybody's doing too much. Anyway, now you get into the big knife fight with Krauser, which we did attempt to discuss earlier, but I feel like we had some sort of weird thing in time where
Almost
we
like a
lost a few minutes.
like a
We did.
stutter,
Yeah.
or like a
no, but
not like that.
it's the most intense QTE battle. It's basically a boss battle, QTEs only.
Yeah.
It fucked me up. I definitely got a.
yeah.
I like it.
I died at least once.
I felt it makes you feel so stupid when you fuck it up.
Got me
like-
in the chest too, just like
Oh, when
Put the
the
knife
pushing
down.
sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like
I love this shit.
You can either hit A or X or left and right trigger. Like those are pretty much your only two options.
Yeah.
And so when I fucked it up, I'd feel so dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even though it was coming at you quickly and it was like fucking intense, it was like I was just like, it's Jordan. There's two
Yeah.
options.
How'd you fuck up?
It's A or X, A and X. Or
I did find a couple times in other fights that we haven't gotten to just yet. If you need to press a left and right trigger or bumper at the same time, if you're already aiming and shooting, it will count that because
Yeah.
those are the same buttons. And I thought that was a nice touch.
Also, sometimes I would just do all the buttons at once, and as long as I got the two correct ones, it worked anyway.
just like
All right.
fucking doing this the whole time.
This
It's the
is-
best if you're gonna do quick time events. This is the best way to do it.
Yeah, if this is also where Krauser says, "It's all for the sake of Umbrella,"
And Leon says, "Huh, umbrella?
he goes,
Umbrella?
"Oops, almost let it slip."
Time to die now."
What more could he have let slip? I almost let you know Umbrella's entire like third quarter plans. Or something. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah, it's like just because you didn't give him like your tax returns also, like Umbrella's
Yeah.
tax returns.
But this reveals that Umbrella is actually still a thing, even though the opening of the game told you Umbrella's done.
Like
Government shut it
6
down.
years.
And
or
I think
something.
Umbrella has something to do with not so much 5. I think 6. They return a little bit, and yeah, they bubble back in and out, you know. But basically, it doesn't matter. Umbrella's just one pawn in the global system of like creating bioterrorism weapons and putting them all over the
Yeah.
world.
So you can become a super cool monster
Yeah, yeah.
that
I know
will
it's
never
like-
be able to return to its human form.
What's bizarre is that like I know I know it's a video game, but at the same time, all these tyrants, they made so many tyrants. All of these giant monsters, they've all been killed by like 2 agents. You know what I mean? Like at a maximum, at like different agents each time. But like, how effective are these monsters? You know what I mean? They're like, if like 2 trained, like in Leon's case, he's just a fucking like police officer on his first day. In
Earlier, you were
game.
talking about how badass he was. So
He's badass now, but
in the 6 years between the 1999 and 2004, he had a bunch of training.
Yes, but I'm saying in like Resident Evil 2 and even Resident Evil 1 with Jill and well, Chris is badass.
I don't
they
think
still
you
are able to
understand
kill him
because of how you are.
as the way my brain is.
No, like you're kind of like you're kind of shut off a little bit. You know, you got your
stupid?
your defenses are up a little bit emotionally. Yeah, I think it's a little hard for you to let people in. I don't think you understand that they have the power of love on their side, which helps them through all of their
That
battles.
gets them through it,
persevere.
That's right. I see that and then I block it out.
And
But-
remember this one last thing. Through God, all things are possible. Okay. I got really close to you. My depth perception was off.
I thought I was in a
there.
3D movie. Oh God, where am I seeing this? COVID-19.
Right after this is where you get to sit in Sadler's throne.
Best sequence in the game.
Like the corniest part of the game, hands
Yeah.
down.
I walked past it and then I saw the thing flash and I was like, I gotta press it. I'm like, I gotta.
And then he's
sit
like,
there.
he like sits down. And he's like,
It's like King Duke.
yeah.
"Hail to the king!"
Oh God. Hail to the king, baby. But then he's like,
Fucking
but then the
stop
thing
sticking to my
says,
foot.
like, I got no time to dick around now, or
Yeah.
something, and then he has to like get
Yeah.
up.
So
very funny.
there's like a door behind the throne. You go through, and you eventually come outside again, and you're like on a series of shipping crates that are like attached. They're like shipping crates, so like shipping containers, but they're also like cages.
Yeah.
They're like cargo
Oh,
cages
this was
that are
sick,
suspended
yeah.
in the air
I'm
and
assuming
hung
they're
on
being
giant hooks.
maybe they're
You're
maybe
transporting
It's,
flightless prehistoric birds, so they can feel like they're flying.
oh, it's the experience.
It's like maybe they're getting
assuming
supplies
it's-
up the mountain.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's like they are there currently, but that's the process of it being lifted up.
It's
But even
possible.
still, it's very.
But there's a monster living in it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's in a pit, and you don't have to go on there. Oh no! Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So this sequence was fucking sick. So there's
It
3
was
sections.
really cool, but it was another section where you're like, this is such an impossible.
yeah,
like,
it took me out of it. But at the same time,
implausible.
Also, like, I'm fighting another boss.
there's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, that felt like and that wasn't even like a person or anything. Like that was a significant character.
Sluggo,
He
fucking up the backdrop. Come here.
did he? He's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Did that fight the design of that boss remind you guys of anything in particular?
Dropping logs, kinda.
Yeah, Jordan.
No.
It looked a lot like a centaur from Fallout.
Oh yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah,
It did.
gave me a lot of centaur
Yeah.
vibes.
Gives you
Yeah,
hardcore
I could
centaur.
see
It's
that.
kind of like a blob of just fucked up thing. So you've
It's like a Cronenberg rolling at you.
Yeah.
or like something from the thing.
You gotta,
so,
like, what?
So yeah, you have to like shoot the switches.
Yeah. Which
that what
then
you're saying?
opens the gate to the next security gate to the next
Little section.
cage. I
And
don't know what they
each-
are.
and in each cage, in each like storage container turned into tiny home that you're in. You know what I mean?
There's like
Repurposed.
storage containers in the cages.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Some sort of lifting apparatus.
But
yeah.
each section is timed as well.
Right.
Because after that point,
After you flick the switch.
Apparently, they were just keeping them here for now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, they're just.
You could lower them back down, but they just drop them.
Yeah, they're like, it's much
Yeah.
easier to just drop it down.
Look,
They're,
we
very-
have a lot of money.
yeah.
It's a very creative thing that you're dealing with. But you get through that. It was very engaging.
I
I
felt
really
dumb
thought
because
this
I
part-
did not catch the switches for a minute.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Took me a while to find the
first
switches.
time
You
I remember
feel-
being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I, was
wonder
like,
if you
I
can-
kept running from one door to the next door,
Yeah.
to the next door, and it was like, there's got to be
fuck?
something. I'm like, well, what is it? What's
Yeah.
the thing?
Can you? I don't think you can kill him because there's a
No.
part 2 to this battle.
Yeah, because after you think, okay, well, I dropped him down to the abyss, he shows up, and then you fight him on land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I just wrecked him with a rocket launcher. It was,
this was
You
a.
fucking
nothing.
bastard.
I didn't die, but I got down to my last couple bullets on this guy. I
this
just
is a
could not
harder
kill him.
boss to my memory. And there's like little caves and stuff with like
There's a
ammo
little
and
loop,
shit.
yeah.
No.
You have some,
Oh,
Started attacking your mic cord.
oh my God.
He's still going
He's
for
still
it.
going for it. Leave me alone, you cat bastard. We're trying to wrap
You
up.
sweetheart.
Hey, buddy.
Fuck with this Moose logo.
That's Moosemer from.
That's actually
Do you remember Moose from the Fanatic movie? You ever seen that?
No, I was
Remember
thinking
the
of Moose
Ray
from
Ro-
Alan Wake.
I was thinking of
a weird way to pick
the
up
Ray
a cat.
Romano movie that he came out with after Everybody Loves Raymond came off the air called Moose County.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Uh,
I think Robert De Niro was in it.
so
usually does great
after
stuff.
you fuck this guy up, like this is a hard battle.
Yeah, it was not like most of the boss battles. I can honestly say like some of like the mini bosses, like the Wolverine guys, sometimes gave me more trouble than like those guys gave me more trouble than Salazar.
Than some bosses,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like there were
Salazar,
some main bosses that were much easier, but this guy was like the first fucking boss where you're like, okay, fuck me,
Yeah.
like this is fucking me up.
I didn't die though, but man, he really took a beating. He's a big bullet sponge, but it felt very triumphant when you finally get him.
He's got like owl head.
My
going on.
cat's trying to alert me that there's an intruder in the home.
It's
no.
TV's Austin Petroshoon. He's here to talk about Resident Evil.
Said off camera.
Oh, yeah.
You might recognize his voice from our Have You Played videos.
Yeah. Number 5.
So, after you
What?
finish the battle with this scorpion boss thing,
It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson actually from The Mummy Returns.
It's the same
not
model.
from the Scorpion King.
No, from The Mummy Returns.
Okay.
All right.
You're in another like weird Middle Eastern looking ruins area, very desert like parts of this island just feel like another country entirely, like another
Yeah.
climate entirely. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Krauser's like
there's lava here too.
Krauser's
More
like
lava.
so Ash is on the other side of this door, but to get through it, you gotta get the 3 like key items. I put one
One's
in the
over
west.
there. One's over there, and I got the last one.
Well, Leon's like, oh, let me guess. You have the last one.
He's like, yeah.
Like, yeah, put it on my butthole.
Then he's like, take some and he fucking starts blasting you with a
Yeah,
TMP.
and so he wasn't hitting me at all.
Nope.
He got me once or twice.
Maybe once, but it's funny how much he unloads and it like means nothing.
Yeah.
This is
This
like
part, not too bad.
but it can be like a 10-15 minute long boss battle
Yeah.
/ exploration. Like they don't really. This is a weird mix of like
He's kinda
the
antagonizing
puzzle solving
you.
Yeah.
and boss battle at the same
He'll
time.
like jump
they
down and like
didn't,
smack your ass, and you're like, oh fuck, and then he just kind of leaves.
They didn't like address the fact that it's another one. They didn't address that you couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
So like I thought I could kill
Right.
him before I got the key items. So like I spent a good 10 minutes just trying to fucking murder him.
Yeah.
No, you'll
And
just
so-
get into like these like little QTE battles with him, and
Yes.
he does send out 2 different types of drones, like spider drones
Out of
and flying
nowhere.
drones.
That screams to me like there was cut content that had more of these drones because there was
Maybe
so.
there's lots of one-time appearances in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certainly it's certainly not out of character. When do you see Leon use his grappling hook again? Other than when he saves himself from falling into
Another
the pit.
person uses that later on.
Ada always has a grappling hook.
Yeah.
The
so
whole
it's like,
time she
Grappling
has
hook
it.
looks like a nice like old-timey engraved pistol.
It's like a
Yeah, it's like
steampunk pistol.
it's like an Assassin's Creed grappling hook. You know what I mean?
Leon's looks like a metal pen on his belt that he just throws at shit.
yeah, I think it's a number 15 pen.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
Dunlop.
I do like the when you finally get to fight him though. It's a good little battle. He basically has like a wing, like a
The
shield.
wing, yeah.
Yeah.
So and this is a timed fight as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
timed
because
fight as well.
he's gonna blow up the area. He's gonna blow up the
toilet.
yes.
So he kicked my ass the first time around before I died.
It takes a while to understand his patterns and his get the strategy down because there's a few different ways to do it. You can hit his feet even when he has his guard up.
That's what I
Yeah.
ended
but
up
that's
doing.
not easy to do. I've seen
So-
people just I have done it actually. You can do it with just the knife. There's like a really easy sort of like
Yeah.
exploit where if you
Wow.
just get up to him, you can.
So for this one, he killed me it was like a 10-minute fight. He kicked my ass. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how the fuck am I going to beat him? Second time around, I only used my pistol. I'd shoot him in the legs. He'd stagger. I'd shoot him in the head. My pistol this time was fully maxed out with the exclusive upgrade. So it was doing a lot of damage. 30 rounds, pretty much automatic. I killed him in like a minute. It was
Good
great.
battle,
It was
though.
crazy. It was a very good fight. It was
The
very
other thing I
cool.
want to mention, it's nice when when you're going through the area trying to find the key items. He'll be like, "Comrade, what are you fighting for?" And you can respond to him or not.
Oh, yeah, that's
And I
cool.
believe if you respond to him, it like knocks his health down a little bit.
Really?
I remember reading
Like
that
your
somewhere.
like your verbal jab.
yeah.
Like, did
'Cause
real
if you
damage.
don't hit X in time, it doesn't. It counts as a QTE. You won't respond
Yeah.
if you don't hit it fast enough. I'm pretty sure that has an effect on his.
I didn't notice, but it could have. That'd be hilarious if you're like, I'm fucking,
I'll fact check
I'm
that.
cutting
in
you with
editing.
my words.
So that's the end of chapter 5.3. This is 5.4, the final chapter.
Oh my god.
Finally.
So you're basically getting through to where the ritual is happening to get Ashley from Sadler. You cross the go around the bend, and you see there's just insane military presence in this area, and you're like, oh fuck. I think Leon even says, "Fuck my little dandy ass, I'm so fucked." And
It says, "Come on the small of my back." I
Yes.
can't believe it
that's what he says.
He's gonna stick a fork in me because I'm done.
because I'm covered in cum.
But then Mike shows up out of nowhere.
Big Mike shows up.
The helicopter support Mike.
Big Mike.
And so someone has gone through with like the camera exploit thing, and he does have a model and everything.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It's not just nothing
Hands.
in there.
And it's like this scene like kind
a
of caught
face
me off
model
guard
and
because
stuff.
I remember you do call for backup much earlier
Yeah.
and don't get a response.
Oh, and in
he's
the
like,
radio
"Ah."
tower.
Yeah, because you get to the radio tower and he's like, "Let me see," and he's like, "Didn't go through." And then suddenly Mike just rolls up and he's like, "What's up, pussy?"
And he has this badass, like, this ridiculous helicopter that he just, man, he kicks a lot of ass, but this part was also hard.
It's the hard part. Just
I
insane
found-
battle.
Mostly,
Yeah.
I just did not have a lot of ammo left at this point.
Yeah, this is
And I was really
this
scavenging.
is it was for me too because probably because you have like borderline 3 boss fights in such a
Like
quick
right before
succession.
it?
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That like
Not a lot of time to restock.
And 2 of them you can't kill during the interaction that you're in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Until later. So it's like you're just borderline. They're just bullet sponges for you to waste ammo on, unless like it clicks that they. You
Yeah.
know.
And I do think that was intentional to make
Because
this
yeah.
next part have
because
some
I
sort of
also was
challenge.
like, this was the only time where I had to, the gun I was using was based on what I had ammo for.
Right.
Where the rest of the time it was like, which gun do I like?
Yeah.
You know?
And this was great. This was a
Great
really cool
action
part.
scene. Like he's blowing up the scenery as you're going through. He's taking
Oh
guys
yeah,
out.
it's like a fucking Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
And you're like kind of working together. he's
Super
like,
over the top.
He's like, get out of there, Leon.
Yeah,
And
he'll
run
give
out.
you a little heads up. He's gonna fire your way. But then once you
turrets.
think you finally got everything done, Leon's like, "Man, when this is all over, I'll buy you a drink." And Mike goes,
Yeah, hey, I know a good bar.
"It's like,"
I love that line.
and then he gets fucking one shot
Seconds
by an
later,
RPG.
fucking RPG.
But like just a regular Ganados guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just like,
And Sadler's just watching it happen. Like,
I love that line though. Yeah, I know a good bar.
And
You're
then,
like,
and then Leon says, "Oh no."
do they serve alcohol? Like, you just said I need to get a beer. You don't need to go to a bar even to
No,
like
you,
get a
you
beer.
can pick up
together.
a 6-pack.
We're going to Applebee's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
so
Applebee's is a good bar.
yeah, I've had some good times at that bar.
I've
Bad food,
you
good
can
bar.
you get hammered for like $12 off
very
a
cheap.
dollar margarita.
You gotta drive
Yeah.
home because it's not downtown.
You can drive home
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to pretty much.
it's just
And
hard.
You're
It's
always
just
gonna walk to Applebee's.
harder.
Show me one person that would ever walk to Applebee's in Plattsburgh.
Show me all the security footage of anyone who's.
Oh, we were told by our producer Sam Egan has done so.
And Dust probably would too.
Yeah, Dust probably would too.
He might not go to Applebee's, so he'd just like walk there for the hell of it and then walk home.
Just for the resistance training.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You were gonna say I love when you're like, no.
because we need to wrap this up. We're so close to being done with this 10-hour video. So Sadler explains that what he was doing was simply swatting a fly, and you understand the hierarchy. When you're a super being, that humans are inconsequential. You meet up with Ada. Leon attacks her in a scene very reminiscent of Joseph attacking
Just
This scene made me
Castellano survivor.
fucking laugh
Sebastian.
my ass off. Because his eyes turn red, he chokes her out, and but there's that scene where like it's just Leon's face, like a close up, and his eyes just bulge and they're red, and it just looks so stupid.
Looks like he hit a weird blunt.
He does, yeah. And this wasn't a quick time event?
smoked that shit.
No. This is still a cutscene.
Yeah,
but,
I expected
Now
it
I'm
to be.
stuck
she-
in this village in Europe.
Yeah, fuck.
she like
They're speaking Mexican Spanish, but they say it's in Europe.
she gets you away from her, and you're like sorry, and you like pop like a bunch of those pills.
No, it's the way he says it is so casual too. He's like, sorry, Ada. Like he's just like,
Well,
sorry, Ada.
Like you just like grazed someone's butt when you walked by. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh, sorry,
like,
she
sorry.
has,
sorry.
you know, they've been through a lot.
Yeah,
she like almost killed him in the speedboat.
that's right.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's also like
He had a
like lit
knife to her
explosives
neck.
like
Yeah.
right in front of him and shit. Anyway,
Lit up.
she leads you. She's like, "Let's go. We gotta keep going." So she leads you to like this spooky prison area, which again at this point in the game you're just like, it's the last chapter. I'm still going to new areas. What
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fuck is this? There's a dumpster where you open up and there's like a twitching meat sack.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, what the hell is that?
what the fuck?
Just closes it.
It's alive. You
Yeah.
can shoot it and it'll stop moving.
I
But
did that.
nothing
yeah. I
happens
knifed
though.
it.
You know what
People
I mean?
have theorized it's maybe full of
Come.
regenerator parts.
Oh, and they're
Oh,
just,
just
twitching
like
around.
limbs.
Because there's regenerators in there, and the other thing was theorized is that it's a way to trick you, and if you fire it, you alert the regenerator that you're there, and it'll start following you. If you
Oh.
don't fire at it, you'll just go and you'll bump into the
I
regenerator.
believe I
That's what
knifed it
happened
as
to me.
well.
Yeah.
So that's
So
so like wasted
This
ammo.
one, like this regenerator that's down the hallway right here, I got him. He had.
got him good.
I got him good. He had four
four
leeches. And I just remember like I got all four first try, and I was just like, I'm the fucking best at this game. Like, I can't believe how good I am at this game.
It was
right
like-
now.
yeah, it was-
like everyone else
yeah.
fucking sucks at this game except
The
for me.
fucking I was really good at missing like my first shot and then having to like wait for it to like fully and I'm like
Yes.
come fucking
I would do that sometimes.
it's like
Just, let me just get two.
yeah, can I just two?
You then have a pretty huge battle, just tons of guys. As you finally reach Ashley, you save her from the pod. Sadler's there. He's pursuing you, but he gets slowed down by Ada because she dumps a bunch of flaming barrels on his head, as you
He
do.
hates that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, I feel like in some sort of separate timeline or separate adventure,
Something else
she might
happens.
face
Maybe
him.
she has a battle.
Like maybe there's a separate way you could have taken it.
You get to the. I didn't catch that.
Separate
care.
ways by Journey.
We
know
both
that's
started
how we
singing it
both-
at the
yeah.
same time.
You don't know that song? Classic.
I'll have to look it up.
Someday love
It's not a
will
classic,
find
it's a-
you.
Oh, I guess I just didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
I just thought I don't like
Parentheses,
that
worlds
tune
apart.
Worlds
very
apart.
much.
Yeah.
I want to rock you.
You go to the machine and you're getting the virus taken out of you through powerful doses of radiation.
It was also like
Yeah.
the most casual fucking moment of the game. Like it feels like so much of the game was built up to you being like, we got to get this thing out of here. And then like I entered this room and I'm looking around and he's just like, looks like that's the chair we lay down in to
cure.
to cure
She's
us."
like, I don't know, Leon. He's like, well, one way to find out.
You go first.
I'll just sit in it.
Go and find out. You go hop on there.
Come on,
They said
I'm on
it's.
the clock.
They also like. There's some stuff that you read that says that it's a very painful process that most people might not even survive.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Leon's just like ugh. And then like Ashley gets in it and she's like more pained, but it's still just like ugh. And then they get out and I'm like, that's it.
Well, pain is, who knows how
Temporary.
they express their
It's all
pain.
in the mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
There was brown mark on the table after.
yes. Well, they shitted. So you go up.
that didn't hurt at all.
That's how
Well,
it comes out.
it says in one of Luis's documents, he's saying that like, the extraction process causes people to shit.
Yeah, it's like giving birth, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. It also
fiery.
yeah. It does,
You're just
it
pushing
it
so hard to
tears,
It also tears your perineum.
Oh, man.
So next up is the battle with Sadler, and I think that this is probably my favorite like visual, like when
battle
he
Sadler.
when he throws up the eyeball and becomes the monster version of himself.
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
it's
Cool.
an insane transition.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
looks very Beetlejuice kind of like
It is.
the way his like head's so elastic.
And his body is still the human part is still
It's
just
just
dangling
hanging
I love that
around.
like his head is like his torso down is just like flopping like a uvula
Yeah.
back and forth in front
so
of this
good.
fucking
It's,
like
it's very
like,
fucked.
crab
all
monster.
the limbs come out of his neck, so
And
like, he's
this
just
is
still
a
there.
Classic Resident Evil boss battle where you fire
Pop.
at the weak spot until someone gives you a rocket launcher.
Yeah, pop him in the eye.
Leon, this might help. The like the most unique looking rocket launcher.
It's like a little red, yeah.
And like It's a RPG with a missile in it, and she just throws it from like 40 feet in the air.
This stage was awesome. It
Yeah,
was
you're like
bridges.
on an oil rig or something.
Yeah.
Like you're not, but it feels that way.
Yeah.
It's very much what it feels like.
Super
yeah.
high up in the air. These bridges keep they keep connecting it to another spot, or like another
Oh, and they're
landing
timed.
zone.
Yeah, they're rotating, so you
And
have
like
to plan it.
if you're on it while it falls down, you have to like press X to like jump and then pull yourself up, and then like Sadler
Sadler's
jumps
just
over
on top of you.
Really great fight.
Yeah, great final battle. He has like weak spots or eyeballs in his knee joints and stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
I always love where they put the weak spots. Like,
Yeah.
it's I don't know, because it's always like...
I would have put it
And
like
like
pee-pee.
the
yeah, right in his
crotchal
piece,
region.
his little pee-pee.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I would have, like, when he dangled down, I would have had, like, the robe also fall off. And just, like, his little
Yeah.
penis hanging there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have made his penis medium sized, but
I would have made it little and his
medium.
balls big.
Big balls,
Huge balls.
that's,
big balls,
That's good.
big balls.
We
medium,
should definitely focus on how we would each do this.
So the whole place is gonna blow. I think Ada's the one that has the
She
detonator. She
initiates
blows
the
it up,
detonator.
Oh, yeah.
and she's like, "Fine, I guess you can live," and throws you
Oh.
the keys to the speedboat.
And before you do this fight, Leon's just like, there's an elevator that leads you up, and Leon's just like, Ashley, oh shit, stay here.
I do like that.
That's my
I got
favorite.
confused. I got turned around during the battle of Sadler, and I was like, "Wait, where do I fucking go?" And I spent like almost 45 seconds, like
Just trying to
trying
exit.
to be like, "What? Oh
Yeah.
no!" I was like,
Because it's like a little hook. But
I
it's
didn't-
not part of the main battlefield.
I didn't like. I just wrecked him with the rocket launcher, and so I didn't use like the platforms and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, maybe I
okay.
go over to those." And I was like, "Oh no, yeah, that's for like when you scale the battle around." And
Yeah.
I don't know. If you beat him on the first platform, he like when he dies, he just like jumps up to the top platform and then dies. It's a very very odd transition.
We only animated me to be dying over here. Sorry.
But you get down to her, and then you escape on a jet ski,
And,
and it's. This is fucking cool. Did you
This
guys
was
like
sick.
this?
until
Yeah,
the part where
I died a couple
Ashley's
times,
like,
though.
"Hey, Leon, when we get back,
Oh.
totally gonna slob on that knob." And
Yeah.
Leon's like, "Huh, don't think so, lady."
Which is so fucking...
I want to speak to that, but first, did you like the speedboat? Or
I
the
did, but
speedboat? It's not a speedboat.
It's
It's
a
a
jet
jet
ski, yeah. Mhm.
Jet ski.
Sea-Doo.
I died a couple times.
I did a couple times too. I've done this a
Yeah.
dozen times in my life, and I keep. It's the last couple turns. You have to really be fully accelerating.
And
Yeah.
you have to
If you
you have to
let go
fully
at all.
Even for a
accelerate.
second, yeah.
Toward the second half, you have to be fully accelerating the whole time, and once the things start falling, that take up 3/4 of your path. That's what fucked me every time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
same
gotta,
here.
like,
And then one
Those
time I tried to
the
like
third one I always got hit on.
The one time I tried to slow down to like get around it, the
Yeah.
wall of water hit me. And
Yeah, I
murdered
got the
us
wall of
both,
water
yeah.
every time.
But yeah, like you said, she goes, "Leon, how about a little overtime?" He's
Uh-huh.
like, and she's like, "No." She's, oh, somehow I knew you'd say that, but you know, whatever. Doesn't
Which
hurt to
makes
ask.
no sense because
Why?
the whole game he's like
trying to fuck
he's like,
everybody else.
Nice, those fucking fat tits fart, Ashley. And he's like, I knew
Yeah.
that fat fucking sweet ass would block
would
the
block
fall.
the
You know, like
fall,
the
yeah.
whole game.
Right.
He's just like trying to
But-
get up skirts on her.
Yeah.
But then
Maybe he's
Hunnigan calls.
been around her too much.
He's reunited with Hunnigan, and she's not wearing glasses. And he's like, "Whoa, Hunnigan, you look cute without your glasses." You're
a fucking hideous bitch before.
like when a girl takes her glasses off, then she's hot.
And she lets her hair down
Oh,
too usually.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think Hunnigan let her hair down though.
No.
No.
She just looked like less of a frigid bitch without her glasses.
Right.
fucking disgusting monster. Looked just like Sadler.
And he's like
glasses on,
so
Sadler. Glasses off, Vanna White.
he's hitting on her. He's like trying to get her number and stuff. She's like,
She's
"Leon,
not
you're
try-
fucking working. Stop."
Yeah.
And your
he's
client's
like,
trying to fuck you right now.
And the,
I'm like-
and the
I'm like-
final,
I'm like, I don't know about you guys. Ashley next to Hunnigan, I know which one I'm choosing.
Ashley's ears are very
Weird
I'm
ears.
picking
ridiculous.
Hunnigan, yeah.
Weird ears. Yeah, me too.
You're picking Ashley?
I would pick Hunnigan.
I want to date an adult.
Yeah, I want
Who's talking about dating?
I want to fuck an adult.
Well, yeah.
Not a 20-year-old
She's
anymore.
20 years old. That's
20's
not much older than I am.
What's younger? We're the same age.
She's not much older than I am. She's not much younger than I'm not much older than she
What
am.
the fuck?
We're the same age and it makes me uncomfortable.
It's just the final line of the game is "Story of my life." that doesn't make any sense because you just turned down a woman,
She's on your back.
Yeah.
She's
and then
gripping.
and then when you
she could do a
try
little
to flirt with
reachy.
this woman that you never even met before, you've only had a couple video chats with.
on this
and
impossible
she
device
doesn't-
you own.
Yeah,
Yeah, the impossible
doesn't fuck
device.
you. You're like, damn, it's always happened to me this way. And it's a terrible ending in a way. I mean, it's a
very
beautiful
shitty.
ending. You literally
Visually,
jet ski into the sunset.
Incredibly beautiful ending.
Yeah.
Play some great music.
And he's like, not gonna fuck you. And then he's like, this one won't fuck me. Never get laid.
Damn,
Hell, never.
I'm not
Never.
turning him down. I'm getting turned down.
Damn.
I guess at some point, I should just say yes.
Otherwise, it'll continue
I
to
guess
happen.
eventually I should probably settle.
But then he also mentions that she's like, oh, who was that lady in red? And he's like, I think he says, it's just part of my past I can't let go of or something. And it's
Yeah.
like,
So are you in love with Ada?
I used to fuck
You're
her,
trying
but now
to
I
plow
don't
bang
anymore.
Hunnigan, or like,
right, that's why it's like it seems like he turned down Ashley because he has feelings for Ada.
Yes.
But then why try to fuck Hunnigan? Just because it's like, I know why, because it's like a girl taking off her glasses is probably like the fucking hottest thing I could even imagine.
Like if I'm,
So like, I
have
know
to,
why that would trump his.
I have to leave.
love
Like
for Ada.
it's like one of those like hold me back bros. Like a girl
Yeah.
takes her glass, I'm like hold me back. You know what I mean?
Literally.
That's how you get right now.
I need to leave. Like, that's how bad it is. The tip is wet, man.
I'm about like
I'm fucking.
No, I'm about to
if I,
break.
if I
Hands
stand
free.
up, if I stand up right now, just the friction of the pants.
No, it's dangerous. I might need to have my where they take like a needle and they remove the blood because
like pop
It's just
it
been in there for so long.
for all the cum to leak out.
and then the end credits shows
not
a
blood- it's
really
not blood,
incredible
it's
slideshow of we talked about this briefly. I don't know if you went back and saw it, but the Ganados like village
Yeah.
life before, and they show how Sadler came with Mendez, and they kind of like started basically like forced inoculation.
Yeah.
Inoculation.
Inoculation. Yeah.
yeah.
You've been inoculated. So
I don't
yes.
know if inoculated is the word I'm looking for, but
think it
they
is.
basically, I don't think it is. But they force because I don't think you're being inoculated against anything. You're just getting infected with a virus. You're getting a parasite put into you, which I don't know what the I don't know what the what's the medical term for when you force a parasite into someone.
into somebody. I always forget that one.
I can't.
Anyway, they show
Autobots.
that they showed up and started like injecting the plagas into the
Yeah.
villagers, and it implies very heavily that the villagers killed all their own children.
Yes.
You see one shot of a dead kid with like a maniac mother, and then there's tons of graves.
But there's no
There's no kids.
no children other than Salazar in this
But there-
whole game.
And there are children all through the village, right prior to the events of the game.
in all the
So
pictures.
I'm assuming
Either
They
that or
killed
all
all
the,
the kids.
either they killed all of them and it's a dark one, or all the kids escaped and they're living in camp
Yeah, how'd they
Lamplight
escape?
Cavern.
did they have a fucking jet ski?
They're with the bugs in the caves. They're the bugs.
in the-
They're the bugs. No.
Oh, you guys were on it.
Oh man.
But
So,
I did
that's-
skip that. I don't know why.
it was really
I like-
good.
My
It's really-
eyeballs
it's a
were like
amazing
Fan theory.
visual.
I don't know why.
That
Maybe I
picture
was,
of Bob Marley and the Wailers was supposed to be in that slideshow.
Oh, well, it originally showed Bob Marley coming
Bob
down.
Marley brought the plagas.
Damn.
So I had to go watch it afterward. Which
Damn. Is that what killed him?
that's what got him. Yeah.
Damn.
So it was really weird that I skipped. I don't. I
They
must
said
have
it was foot cancer, but it was a parasite living on his spine.
likely story, but yeah, I watched it after. It was sad.
You may have been like in a state of like, like you may have been overwhelmed by how horny you were made to feel
I was
by
incredibly-
Hunnigan taking off her glasses.
I was ridiculously ready to.
Her
I had to-
eyes got bigger when she took her glasses off. It seemed,
Which is
which isn't what happens to
it is
anyone.
that is a funny thing because it's 100% of the time the opposite effect.
Yeah.
If anything, your glasses will like.
If Jordan and I
it doesn't
take
do
these
it
off
to
right
me.
now-
My my eyes like
Thank you, Jesus.
my eyesight isn't that bad, so like my eyes don't change
Oh,
much.
thank God.
But like
Right.
there was a kid in high school who like he looked like fucking like he looked like Stuart Little. And like
mouse?
not the mouse, the kid from Stuart Little. And like when he had his glasses on, it
Jonathan
looked like he
Lipnicki.
had big ol' eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he'd take them off, and suddenly he's like little beady mouse eyes. And I was like, what the fuck? He
Oh,
did it to
yeah.
me one time in 8th grade, and I was like, what the hell? And he was like, my glasses. I was like, you got small eyes. He was like, yeah, I can't
That's why
really.
I can't see
He's
very
like, he was
well.
like legally blind. You know what I mean? So it's very thick rims. but
You got to tell me who you're talking about off camera.
I don't remember his last name.
Fuck.
His name was
He's talking about an experience from 8th grade.
yeah, his name was Kyle, and he transferred out by like 10th grade.
8th grade Kyle.
Yeah, it's 8th grade Kyle. we were in ARC together.
All right.
That's it.
That's right.
Any final thoughts?
We got to talk about separate ways.
Oh, I just wanted to be able to talk about sure.
We don't have to.
I just want to be able to reference it throughout the video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's extras that you should definitely check out
Yeah,
after
because you
finishing
guys
the
didn't do
game.
Assignment Ada, did you?
I did. I did
did
Assignment
not.
Ada. I did Separate Ways.
You play some Mercenaries?
I didn't this time, no, because I'd already played. I love it, and I know it's
It's so
fun,
good.
but I'm just like, I
It's like
wanted
Horde
to.
mode.
I
Yeah.
wanted to try that.
I wanted
felt
to
a
get
little-
right back into New Game Plus, so I didn't
Yeah.
waste too much time.
I definitely spaced out my playing time, but even still, like, I didn't feel done with this game, but I kind of felt done with this game. You know what I mean? Like, I want to come back to it, but I just feel like it was so dense that I'm like, I feel satisfied. So it's amazing. I can't imagine the replay value, especially for a game from that time
It has
before
great
there was
replay value.
before
Yeah.
there was DLC. Really,
I'd give it like a week or so before going back into like Assignment Ada or Separate Ways.
Yeah,
I
going
pla-
right into Separate Ways from the main story was.
that was
it did
inadvisable.
It did make Separate Ways.
I
drag
did
a
tell you guys you
little
should.
bit.
Yeah. I ended up.
Sorry.
No, it's all
It was-
good.
it was a bit much.
It would have been what I did either way. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I wanted to get back to New Game Plus so bad, and I wanted that sick fucking Mafia 2 gangster
Mafia.
outfit.
yeah.
Right, so depending on what you do, you either get the Mafia outfit or the Raccoon City Police Department
RCPD,
outfit. And then Ashley will either be in her sexy disco clothes or her full suit of armor.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
gets a
Which
full
I think we discussed before. Also, you either get the Chicago typewriter or the Infinite
Yeah, you can
rocket
get both
launcher.
of them, but each one costs
But I can't
a
get the
million
I can't get the
pesetas.
Chicago typewriter until after I beat.
Did you get the postmodern
Ways.
Yes.
jukebox?
I did, and I don't know. Their cover of the Friends theme is really good.
Yeah, I like
anyway,
it a lot.
any
I
other
did-
final thoughts?
Yeah, I bailed out of Separate Ways.
You mentioned that.
I did because I got to Separate Ways. Absolutely worth playing. Like you said, maybe wait a little bit, play the other modes, try to because it is just more campaign, and you go through a lot of this. It's all the same set pieces. There's no new. Well, there's a couple new set pieces actually
Minor.
later on.
Yeah, nothing huge though.
There was like a big boat sequence that was not in the game at all. Definitely worth playing. Maybe not right after, but I did check out. You fight Sadler. You were actually. It's revealed that Ada is the one that quote unquote officially kills Krauser because he's not dead after his
Right.
interaction with Leon. And there's a bunch of things, little things along the way we've already talked about, like that was her, which is kind of cool. But when you fight Sadler, there's the cutscene where she pulls out the TMP and she starts blasting him in the chest, and that's what allows Leon and Ashley to escape before she shoots the barrels.
Well,
and
yeah,
has
that's
that-
actually not because what he does, he goes, huh,
yeah,
and he just he
like
pushes
expels
the bullets, yeah,
out of his
skin.
hands, which is really fucking cool. It's a really great scene. But then you fight him while Ashley and Leon escape, and I could not do this fight.
I watched your footage, so you
had
kept
a-
shooting him in the body,
I did.
which
So,
you can't do.
You got to shoot him in the head.
but did we clarify? Matt said there may be, it's supposed to trigger an additional cinematic.
If you keep shooting in the body, you're supposed to get a cutscene where he spits the bullets out again.
Again.
To be like, and then that didn't happen for you.
It did not.
No?
It did
That's
not
wild.
hit her. It did not.
Because that's supposed to be like, if you didn't fucking get it the first time, we're gonna really hammer it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to let you know.
can't shoot him in the body.
Because
I
I did
sent
that. I
Matt
shot
the
him in the
footage.
body for a bit. He shot him back at me, and then I was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Clearly, so I started doming him, and then
You
got
I
there.
did
He
not
goes,
get
Dude,
that
that thing
cutscene.
spits out his eyeball and you hit that. and
Never
then
saw
he's
that
done.
once.
Yeah, crazy.
So I sent the footage. It was like 9 minutes. I was fighting this guy for a
Like 9
long
to 12
time. And I
minutes,
was like,
yeah,
how
and
the
you just
fuck?
couldn't get it.
I got
wild.
down. I
think
got
that's
down.
the end of it, right?
that's the end of Operation Ada. Yeah.
I got
well, I
down
mean, then
to-
it cuts to you throwing the rocket to
Right,
Leon. You know what I mean?
right.
But you don't have to. You don't do that.
But I
it's
got
not
down
like,
to-
quick time throw. You know, and you throw it wrong, and it lands face down and fucking.
No.
Yeah.
I got down to I only had my rifle left, and there is not enough time for you to aim your rifle, pop him in the head before he does one of his lash attacks. So I just said, "Fuck this."
It's hard.
I played this game for 35 hours in 2 weeks. I'm just gonna watch the last clip, and it was totally worth. It would have been worth it.
Yeah.
But really fucking. This
Yeah,
game
it's
is
one of the-
absolutely deserving of all the praise it gets. It's crazy how much playing this game I can see the DNA of it in.
It influenced
Later games.
modern gaming, I'd say.
Yeah.
a great deal.
Not-
Yeah,
not just
it's
shooters, it-
definitive.
everything.
It's one of the most important games ever made, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
arguably.
crazy how good this game is.
Yeah.
Even as somebody who's like, I'm not super into survival horror genre. I
either.
Before this game, I had now I have, but when I first played this game when I was 12, I'd never played another Resident Evil game, and it fucking blew me out of the water. Then
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's just been, it's so, it's a great game. It's like borderline a perfect game.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what other series has a fourth? How many series
good
are there
point.
that has like a fourth installment? That's the best, one of the best
Yeah.
games in the world. You know what I mean?
Mario
Like,
World.
what the fuck? Super Mario World.
That could be the best.
That is the that's the first thing I thought
Fucking
of. Is that,
Ocarina of Time.
which
that's what the-
That's the fourth one.
is that the
I
fourth
think that's
one?
the fourth one.
All right.
Although, well, it could be fourth or fifth. You count the
Gears
Game
of
Boy.
War 4.
Yeah.
Gears 4, yeah.
Halo 4.
Halo 4.
Oh,
I
well,
liked
we
it.
could talk about 4 all the time, but
For
you know,
score.
For sure, I need to end this fucking video.
And
So-
for sure, you should like and subscribe.
That's true. You should. And
You really should.
I don't know what else to say. It's
No.
it's a must play. If you,
You
haven't
got
played
it,
it, you
yeah.
got to play it. It's one of the and it's good on every platform.
Yeah.
But it's incredible with this HD mod on PC.
Holy
And if
fuck.
if you still own a Wii, definitely try to pick up Resident Evil 4 for the Wii because I think that's a very unique
Totally.
and ridiculous way
Yeah.
to
It's
It's a lot of
experience
fun,
that game.
and just look if you haven't looked up the HD mod, they went to Spain and actually took the photos of the actual
like reference images.
reference images. They
took new
tracked
photos
them
of them.
down. They tracked down the source of the original reference images in
Yeah.
real life. Went there, took new photos, and worked them in.
Like 4K.
There is I don't like
It's preposterous.
no one does that amount of work for free.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a tech savvy person, especially compared to these two guys.
I'm
And
very smart. Yeah.
I was I was able to install the mod with little to no issues.
relative
you just need like
ease.
you just need like a BitTorrent downloader or whatever,
Yeah.
or a mega.
Yeah, it's not hosted direct on their site. But anyway, that's it. Bye.
Probably don't do a remake.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too late for that.